guys. I'm Danny Johnson, CEO at TPP, The Positive Porpoise.
I'm Jason Miller from Fins Up SoCal Fan Club.
I'm Scott Howell from Atlanta Dolphin Club.
Mark Angelo, NorCal Dolphin Club.
And you're listening to Clock Blockers, Miami fans' #1 morning show.
Run it, 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 run it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D. And we are live on this beautiful Spread Kindness Friday right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I want to say good morning to my Fin-Laws and my Fins family. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Got a big show lined up for you today. Big show. Big show. A king-size show. I'm excited. It's going to be a good show today. Hey, look, I'm Stephen D, Stephen Daniels. You can follow me on social media at Stephen D SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure you guys are following me. Got a lot of big stuff to talk about today. You can follow me all weekend and all evening at the social media links down there because there'll be a lot of stuff to talk about today. Also, you can follow Miami Sports Music on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Miami Sports Music and on Twitter at MIA Sports Music. Make sure you guys are doing that. Hit the like button on your way in if you haven't done so already. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Come on, subscribe. Let's go. And make sure you share the link. Let people know that we're here. Go on. You see this little share button? See that share button below? Hit the share button. Go on Twitter right now. Let people know. Say, hey, look, man, are you coming on? Are you coming on? Yeah, man, we got a lot of fun. I got people texting me right now and telling me what time I'm on. I'm on live. I'm on live right now. Come on. Also, hey, look, if you want to sign up to become a member of the family, there's plenty of seats at the table waiting for you to sign up and join today. The link that you see in the description below, you guys can do that. You guys can also use this link that I just put in the chat right there to sign up and become a member today. I'm trying to read the chat. I got people texting me. My phone's been going off the hook since last night. A lot of stuff supposedly is going down. We're going to get into all that. We're going to talk about everything this morning. So stay right here. Going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk about it all this morning. Okay. Also, hey, look, if you guys want to help the channel grow by donating, today is Friday. Okay. Today is the last day to enter to win this Patrick Surtain giveaway. We are doing this drawing this afternoon. So let me kind of make sure you all can hear this. Any donation that is $10 in increments of 10, you will be entered to win this Patrick Surtain jersey that we're giving away this afternoon. Okay. And here's the good thing about this Patrick Surtain jersey. It'll be coming to you. It's autographed. It's the old Aqua jersey. It's a beautiful jersey. Okay. If you donate on Cash App or PayPal, I will double your entry. So instead of $10 getting you one entry, if you donate $10 on Cash App or PayPal, you'll get two. Now we have a goal today. We have a goal. That goal is to get 50 entries today, 50 separate entries. Let's get 50 separate entries today. Can we do that? Can we do that? If you donate $50, I will triple your entries, no matter where you do it at. All right? So I want to get 50 separate entries today. That is the goal for this Patrick Surtain jersey, and we are going to give that away after the show today. We're going to do a live giveaway for that. So make sure you all do that. It's going to be a lot of fun, okay? All right, here we go. The other stuff that I want to talk to you all about today is, by the way, MSM Podcast Network, $ on Cash App, and also MSM Podcast Network on PayPal. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsor of the show, Tail Greeter. Tail Greeter is an absolutely amazing sponsor of the show. They're actually in Vegas right now. I'm actually hoping to get Nick on today to talk a little bit about what Tail Greeter is doing in Vegas. So hopefully he'll be able to join us later on in the show. So I'm excited about that. All right. Got a lot of stuff. I'm looking forward to see what is going to happen today. But let me kind of talk about a recap of yesterday, right? Yesterday was a great night one. I know the Dolphins didn't have any picks, but for me it was a lot of fun to watch. I went over to a buddy of mine's house, and we watched it, and I had steak and mashed potatoes and corn on the cob and wings and cake. It was delicious. I had a great time. Great time. I don't know what y'all did last night, but I had a great time watching the draft last night at my buddy's house, and it was good because I didn't really want to do. I just wanted to relax for the first night, and it was a lot of fun nonetheless. I want to kind of do a draft one night recap. Throughout the morning, I'm hoping to have some people join us. So I'll get into all that. And I want to say, let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Trucker Sean, Jay Kirshner, Adam E, Jamie, what's up? Who else I got up in here this morning? I got Andres. What's up, Andres? True Fins fan. Big Dougie B is in here. Vernon, what's up, Vernon? 305 Island Boy. John Featherland. Yeah, a lot of y'all. Hey, Cameron 954, who will also be on with us this morning. That will be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check that out. Mark K. Who else I got up? In EM Ballers in here. Bob Young, Adriel Heat. All right, so let's kind of get into recap of night one. Okay. So recap for night one for me. First of all, Vegas put on a hell of a show. Vegas put on one heck of a show. I really enjoyed all the content that I saw yesterday from everywhere. I watched the NFL Network's version, not ESPN's last night, but I enjoyed. I did think they dropped the ball in a couple of places, at least on the NFL Network. I would have liked to see like Peter Schrager and like their big personalities do the draft last night, and the fact that they didn't kind of bothered me, but I always like Rich Eisen. But nonetheless, it was a good night, from what I saw there. Now, as far as let's go a recap of the draft. Okay. I have a whole list here of stuff that I'm going to talk about today from day one. Okay. So we're going to talk all about it. Don't worry about it. And then we'll talk about day two and what's going to happen maybe supposedly today in the rumors that are going down. Okay. All right. Let me add this to the stream here. So pick one, Trayvon Walker. I thought it was really interesting that Trayvon went number one over Aiden Hutchinson. And the only thing that I could think about was Trayvon was, Jacksonville just like Trayvon more than Aiden. But I thought Aiden Hutchinson was definitely the number one overall pick, in my opinion. I thought Aiden was definitely the better pick over Trayvon. I personally, look, I watch Georgia, I watch SEC, but I would say that Aiden should have been the number one overall pick. But again, to go through in most years, neither one of those guys would have been at the top had there been some sort of star quarterback. Obviously, there was not in this draft class. But it was really interesting to see that Trayvon went number one over Aiden Hutchinson. It'll be very interesting to see who has the better career. Aiden staying in Michigan, I think, was a big thing for him. I ultimately think that's where he wanted to be. Playing 4 years at the University of Michigan, and now having the chance to stay at home, play in Detroit, play for the Lions. I'm sure that Aiden Hutchinson really appreciate that. Going down to the number 4 overall pick for the New York Jets, you had Ahmad Gardner, a.k.a. Sauce Gardner. I thought it was really interesting. His name was the one name that I think a lot of people were talking about a lot during the draft. I know a lot of people were like, oh my God, this kid's good. Who knows where he's going to go. I hate to say this, and I'll talk more about this a little bit in a little bit. Jets had such a big night. They had such a big night. 3 picks in the top 32. And I think they killed on all their picks. But to specifically talk about Sauce Gardner, he's definitely the best corner, in my opinion, in this draft. And they had to do something like, think about who the Jets have to play every year. They got to play Stephon Diggs. They got to play Tyreek Hill. They got to play Jalen Waddle. They had, to go out and get Sauce Gardner, who by all means probably was the number one personality of the entire draft. They hit a home run pick, I think, with the number 4 pick. I mean, that's what I think. So it'll be very interesting to see. Going down a little bit further, I think, the NC State guy, Akeem Ikwanu, was the best offensive tackle in the draft. And to see him go to Carolina, I think was big. Although I was somewhat surprised Carolina did not go quarterback. I said if anybody's going to really go quarterback, it would have been that. It would have been that. That's what I would have thought, coming into it. Personally, I would have, it would have been, that would have been the place I would have seen him. So to go out and get a tackle without really having a quarterback for your team, it's interesting. It's interesting to say the least, right? And then Evan Neal going to Alabama, or going to the Giants. I called that pick. That was an easy pick. Was an easy pick because Brian Daboll having the relationship with Alabama. I said Evan Neal's going to the Giants. They got to have somebody, getting, Daniel Jones some protection. So I knew that's where that was going. If Ikwanu was taken, which I knew he would have been taken by that point. So Evan Neal going there. Drake London, the first wide receiver off the board going. Drake London with Kyle Pitts will be a pretty decent 1-2 matchup for the Atlanta Falcons, even with Marcus Mariota playing quarterback there. I think that's Drake London, the wide receiver out of USC, going to Atlanta there was a big hit for Atlanta. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what they have there. Going a little bit further down, number 14, I thought was really interesting, and I thought it played a factor into how the rest of the draft was done, right? So Baltimore, the Ravens going out and getting the safety Kyle Hamilton. Kyle Hamilton was a top 10 pick. He was a top 10 pick, and he was there at 14. And the Ravens have a long history of drafting the best player available. And I think they had in mind the person that they wanted there. But when Kyle Hamilton dropped to them at 14, I think they had no choice but to draft him. And I think it changed the landscape of the rest of the first round. I really do. I really, really do. One of the things that I was very surprised about last night is I said, I think that, there'll be 2 big trades that'll happen. 18 out of 32 picks last night, 18 of them were traded. Now, they weren't traded all last night, but at some way, shape, or form, 18 of the 32 picks in the first round were traded. And I think 11 of them happened last night. It was crazy, the trades that were going down last night. Absolutely insane. And we'll get into that here in a minute, but it'll be interesting to see where they go from there. All right, going a little bit further down, Zion Johnson to the Chargers at 17, a guard out of Boston College. He was somebody that I was hoping would drop. I knew he wouldn't, but I was hoping that he would. And the reason that I wanted him, or I liked him a lot, was obviously the Matt Applebaum relationship. I really think the Chargers got a steal with Zion Johnson. He shores up protection more for Herbert. It'll be very, very interesting to see what happens there. But I like that pick for the Chargers there at 17. I thought they got a lot of value with it. The next big pick for me was Kenny Pickett staying in Pittsburgh, going to the Steelers. One of the things that I thought during the whole tenure was, when is a quarterback going to be taken? And after we got out of the top 10, I was like, I don't know. And then we got to the top 15. I said, there's only 2 teams that I could possibly see drafting a quarterback now. And that was New Orleans or Pittsburgh. And to see, Pittsburgh keep Kenny Pickett, I thought it was really interesting to see that nonetheless. And here's what I truly think. I truly think Pittsburgh was haunted by the ghost of Dan Marino. I know Dan Marino's still with us, but I still think that pick haunts them to this day, that they didn't go with the hometown boy. They let him walk, and it becomes this Hall of Famer with another team. And I don't think that they wanted to see that with Kenny Pickett. Do I think Kenny Pickett was the right pick for Pittsburgh? I don't know. And as no other quarterbacks were drafted last night, it made me think, I'm like, man, this is just not the class for quarterbacks. Now, we don't know what quarterback might make it out of this draft class or not. There's still Malik Willis. You got Sam Howell. You got the kid out of Cincinnati. There's a lot of people, quality players there, but is anybody a starter in the NFL per se? And I really think, look, he's had one good year at the University of Pittsburgh, but I really think Pittsburgh drafted him because they didn't want their fan base to go through what they went through with Dan Marino again. And I really think that's what that was personally. So yeah, that was the Pickett situation. I'm interested to see. I really still think that whatchamacallit, Mitchell Trubisky will end up starting over Kenny Pickett in the beginning, but I could be wrong. It'll be a fun quarterback battle in camp to see about that. For the Buffalo Bills, Kaiir Elam is interesting. I'm not sure how that pick's going to work out for the Bills, but they needed secondary help. If you noticed last night, the big thing was the Jets and the Bills buffed up their secondary, their defense. They knew the offenses that they would have to play this year would be crazy, right? So that was the pick. They had to go defense. The best player available was Elam on the board. I really don't know if that's who Buffalo wanted to go with, but it's who they ended up going with. Elam was honestly projected in most people in the second round. So it's interesting that that's who they went with. They do say he's a day one starter, but it'll be interesting. But I was surprised at the pick. That's just me. All right, who else? All right, so the whole night I'm talking about, all right, the Dolphins, there's no way, shape, or form they jump into the first round. But if they do in any way, shape, or form, it'll be for one player and one player only. And that player was Tyler Linderbaum. Linderbaum, the center from Iowa, was somebody that I was just praying that would just drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. And I said, look, if he gets past 25, if he gets past the 25th pick, I would not be surprised if the Dolphins jumped up and tried to go after him. But I said he has to pass the 25th pick. So the 25th pick comes and the Ravens are sitting at it. And I'm at a friend's house who's a Ravens fan, and the whole night he's like, "Oh, Tyler Linderbaum is not a good pick. He's not a great player. He's got short arms." 25th pick comes, Ravens have it. Who do they pick? Tyler Linderbaum. And it was very interesting because I was saying no, and he was like, we both said no at the same time, but we thought it was funny. But look, I truly think that Tyler Linderbaum is probably the best center in the draft. I loved him. I wanted him very, very bad. But I think the Ravens got a really good player in him. And a lot of value because they traded back twice for that. Well, they traded back with the 14th, if I'm correct, and then they traded back into the first round to go get him at 23, and then traded back to 26. So a lot of willing and dealing. Again, 18 trades in the first 32 picks, and I think 11 of them happened last night. So that was crazy in itself. Right after that, the Jets pick again, Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. Let me tell you, again, a top 10 talent in Jermaine Johnson. He was on a lot of people's mock drafts in the top 10. Absolutely insane. I'll go as far to say as Jermaine Johnson. The Jets killed it. the Jets absolutely had the best. They had the best draft. There's no doubt in my mind they had the best draft. So it'll be very interesting to see, what's going on with them and how they do that. So I'm excited to see what happens with them and where they go about it. So we'll have to see what happens. But man, look, to get Jermaine Johnson at the pick that they got him at 26, and he's a top 10 talent, and Sauce Gardner, along with the wide receiver that they got, Jets killed it last night. They had the best draft of the first round last night. Absolutely. Absolutely. And then you scroll down a little bit more, and then you see the 29th pick, New England. And you're like, well, who's New England going to get? Well, New England traded back a couple times, if I'm correct. And they get this kid out of Chattanooga named Cole Strange, who's an offensive guard. If anybody else in the NFL, anybody else in the NFL drafts Cole Strange in the first round, they get laughed at, they'll get mocked and criticized, and it'll be a pick that could haunt them for the rest of their career. Any GM. Bill Belichick does it. Oh my God, he's a genius. What does he know that we don't know? I know the Rams were having a press conference. They were doing a live stream during the draft. And Sean McVay's like, oh my God, we spent all this time looking at Cole Strange and he gets drafted in the first round. All that waste of time. We thought he was going to be there at pick 104. This kid was projected a third or fourth rounder. And to see him get drafted at 29, what does Bill Belichick know that the rest of the NFL doesn't know? Look, there's a side of me that's like, okay, he's reaching, and I want to say that, but we've seen plenty of times in the NFL where we're like, oh, snap, this guy, he knows something that we don't. It's absolutely crazy, okay? I don't know what it'll turn out to be. I will keep my eye on it. They're in our division. But it'll be very interesting to see where that goes. Another thing that kind of, sent some shivers, I guess, down the spine of a lot of fans were the trades from last night. There was like 11 or 12 trades last night, and I thought all of them, for the most part, were crazy, right? One of the things that happened last night were the Ravens, right? Ravens, well, let's start out with the Eagles. Eagles acquiring A.J. Brown. I said last night for yesterday, this week on my show, I said, look, Deebo's going to get traded. Deebo Samuel's going to get traded. What I didn't project is that behind the scenes over the last week and a half, is that all these other teams that might have been in the fold for Deebo were going after other wide receivers, and that's why the Deebo Samuel trade didn't happen. So all of a sudden I see, Baltimore obviously get back into the first round. That whole night I'm thinking, oh my God, they got back into the first round because they were on the phone with San Fran trying to go after Deebo Samuel and give him a first round pick. That's what I thought when they hopped back into the first round right after their trade. I was really interested to see that A.J. Brown leaving Tennessee, going to the Eagles, and then Tennessee going out and getting the guy that they got in the draft, Treylon Burks, whose player comparison, was A.J. Brown. So they essentially replaced A.J. Brown with a younger version of him and essentially $100 million left. I think Tennessee did a good thing. They got a third-round pick out of it and saved $100 million. I mean, I think it was really, really good. I think it was really, really good. And then to see Hollywood Brown going to the Cardinals. Again, I was sitting at a Ravens fan's house last night. We're sitting there. When that trade goes down, he is like, what just happened? What just happened? And it was insane because, Hollywood Brown and Lamar Jackson are like this. They're really, really close. And Lamar's already pissed off at Baltimore for these contract negotiations. It is not. It's not good right now. Like it is not good. And then Lamar went off on Twitter. He was pissed off. Hollywood was like, I didn't see this coming, which I don't know if it's true or not. I think there's stuff in the works. But it's interesting because if Arizona went after Hollywood Brown, then to me, Arizona, as well as Philadelphia, because they got A.J. Brown, at some way, shape, or point in time this week, they were on the phone with San Fran asking what it would take to get Deebo Samuel. And neither one of those trades obviously panned out. So I find that interesting because the A.J. Brown situation, Philadelphia traded for him. They gave up a 1 and a 3, and then they signed him to, $150 million deal. Hollywood Brown gets traded to the Cardinals. And Arizona, by the way, got a 3rd-round pick along with Hollywood Brown. It'll be very interesting to see how that pans out. And from Arizona's standpoint, that tells me everything I need to know about Kyler Murray. Kyler was, hey, what is it going to take for us to make you happy? Give me a wide receiver. Okay, who do you want? I can't get Deebo Samuel. You guys can't make that work. Go get my old college wide receiver. Go get Hollywood Brown. I'll be happy with him. Okay, we'll make it happen. And I'm interested to see how the Ravens replace him because they have to get a wide receiver. Now, there's quality wide receivers in day 2 of the draft. But are they Hollywood Brown? And Baltimore has a long history of not drafting or getting quality wide receivers through their door. So, and then to go after Tyler Linderbaum, that just tells me that they're focused on the run game next year and protecting Lamar Jackson as well as the running back. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I thought it was all very, very interesting. A lot of trades last night. A lot of trades. And it was a lot of fun to watch. That much I know. Like I said, 18 of the 32 picks were traded. Look, from a standpoint of the Dolphins, there was 2 things that impacted last night. Number one, the Jets had a big night. Jets had a humongous night. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, too, is Buffalo bulked up their secondary. So, I think the rest of the AFC East understands the talent on the offensive side that they're going to have to face on a day-in, day-out basis. Do I think that those 3 guys are going to make the Jets that much better? Not really. But I can't deny the talent that they stocked up last night. And they're good talent. Sauce Gardner the whole time. Before he even got drafted to the Jets, I said, Revis Island. I said, that's who Sauce Gardner reminds me of. Like Revis, or just like the personality and just everything about him. And so it would be interesting. It'd be very, very interesting. And then to see one quarterback go off the board, I was surprised that it was Pittsburgh because I really thought Pittsburgh was in love with Mitchell Trubisky. I know that sounds weird to say, but I thought they were all in on him. Okay, we're gonna give him a shot. So to see them go after Kenny Pickett, I think it was the ghost of Dan Marino, that haunting, that, oh my God, it's gonna be, whew. What do they do there? And then the other thing, Deebo not getting traded last night was a big thing for me. And then to see the 2 wide receivers get traded, A.J. Brown and Hollywood Brown, I was like, all right, that makes a lot more sense to me now that didn't happen. So we'll have to see what happens. I was interested to see what went down and how it went down. I don't know what you guys thought about the draft last night, but those were the things that stuck out to me. Aiden Hutchinson not going number 1. Sauce Gardner going to the Jets. I think Baltimore played a lick into how everything went down last night. Cole Strange is, again, that whole situation with the New England Patriots. Very interesting. Very interesting to say the least. So What does night 2 look like? Well, night 2 is going to be very interesting because who's still available? Who is still available? So this is where we come in as Dolphin fans, and we're like, okay, let's talk about this a little bit more. And I'll get back to the Deebo Samuel a little bit here in a second. But let me talk about these day 2 guys, because these day 2 guys are somebody that I think could the Dolphins jump into the second round and do something. It'll be very interesting to see. Nakobe Dean, inside linebacker from Georgia, who was projected early to mid-round pick in the first round, dropped. Didn't get picked. And there was Georgia guys that came off the board, and Nakobe Dean was the team captain. So I don't know why he dropped. I just know that he dropped, and I know he's available. And we have a need for an inside linebacker. If he somehow drops out of the top 10 of tonight, I got to think the Dolphins got to consider jumping into the second round. He's got to get past the first 10. Do I think he will? No. But if he does, and don't put it past Miami that they're like, well, maybe we should just do it anyway. If they love Nakobe Dean that much, there's somebody that loves this kid that much that they're going to be willing to jump up and do whatever. So it'll be interesting to see. I do like Nakobe Dean. We do have a need at inside linebacker. I think there's mutual interest there. But I don't think he's going to be available, and I think it'll be a lot for us to move up that high to go get him. But it'll be interesting nonetheless. Malik Willis still available. Again, was very surprised only one quarterback went last night. I thought somebody would jump in at the end of the first round to go get Malik Willis. So it'll be interesting to see, is Malik going to go somewhere? I'd like to see that. I think Malik Willis is going to end up in Carolina, Seattle, or New Orleans. Those are the 3 places I think he ends up. Couple of other names that I think are interesting that are still out there. David Ojabo, outside linebacker of Michigan. Kind of surprised he's still out there. And then I'm interested to see, where some of these other quarterbacks go. Sam Howell, Matt Corral, Desmond Ridder. Will they get drafted in the second round? Will they get drafted in the third round? It'll be very interesting to see tonight. Drake Jackson, outside linebacker to USC. And a couple of Alabama people. Christian Harris, another inside linebacker. I'm not in love with him, but I like him. If Nakobe ends up dropping, we have to really consider jumping in to get him. But if not, where's Christian Harris going to go? That'll be interesting too. And again, I'm just looking at best player availables here. Alex Pierce, wide receiver out of Cincinnati. That kid's really good. I like him a lot. Defensive tackle, Phadrian Mathis, another really, really good kid. I like what Level 2 Noob just said. Wild card on Willis, the Indianapolis Colts. They had him in, and Ballard likes him, according to the Talking Heads in Indiana. Yeah, Indianapolis totally could take a chance on Malik Willis if he's there. That's a really good. I don't even think that's a hot take. I think that's a really good one. I like it. Vocals were booing the Bama draft picks last night after what happened with Henry Ruggs. Interesting. Let's see here. I don't know. Channing Tindall, inside linebacker out of Georgia. It was somebody that I believe we talked about during my draft preview earlier this week. It'll be very interesting to see what happens there. I don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. I just know that currently they sit at 102 at the end of the first round, or third round, excuse me. So according to the way things play out tonight, I think the draft starts at 7 again, right, guys? I think it'll be interesting to see, nonetheless, them do it, because if you're looking at the Dolphins, if there's somebody that they love, I don't put it out of the realm of them jumping up to go get somebody. I don't. But what would it cost, and who would that player be, and would that player be worth it? And I've told you from day one, what I want to see is either a quality offensive lineman or a starting inside linebacker. K Flexen, they do pick today, 102. It'll be at the end. But there's a couple people that if they drop, I don't put it out of the realm that the Dolphins move up into the second round. I don't think it'll happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. And I know, Steven, oh, that's a flip-flop take. You're riding the fence. No, Chris Greer's very aggressive. He's been known to be aggressive. It would not surprise me, but it would have to be for the right player. And Nakobe Dean, I think, is the right player. Even if he is hurt. Nakobe's hurt, right? I think that's what it is. And that's why he dropped. But the kid would, if he wasn't, he'd be a top 10 pick. Top 10 if he wasn't. So we'll have to see. Don't be shocked if Tampa takes Willis. I don't know. Chad Muma over Nakobe Dean. John says that's another interesting one. That's another interesting one to see there. Yeah. Look, I'm not sure what they do. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get a couple people from Vegas to come on. We got some fans over there in Vegas, and they should be. It's 3 hours behind, so I think it's like 6 a.m., 6:41 a.m. But they said they might come on in a little bit later. They want to sleep a little bit more. But it'll be interesting to see what happens there. Here's another thing that I find interesting too, right? I don't remember the last draft where there was not as much, there was no quarterbacks really. I don't remember the last draft class where there was like, oh man, I don't know. Like Malik Willis, I'm going to call it, I think he's more of a project than he is a day one starter. We don't know what his ceiling is. Right? And so I would say there's a lot of quality starters in this draft as far as positions are concerned. But what does next year say? Because next year has a quality 5 or 6 starting quarterbacks. And so it'll be very interesting to see what happens next year, with everything. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what it says. Finn's Tailgate, shout out to Chris. 1 quarterback taken, no running backs, no tight end, weak class. I agree. I think it is a weak class. I think it is a very weak class. There wasn't an offensive tackle taken until the 7th pick. And in most years, Aiden Hutchinson Trayvon going number 1 to me was crazy. Because that kid, no way, shape, or form in 90% of drafts goes number 1, let alone maybe even top 5. Sources telling me we trading up for Malik Willis to play free safety. No way. Are we rooting for us to draft a punter today or what? No. We got our punter. We got Morstead, K Flex. We got Morstead. I've never even heard of Liberty till this year. Too funny. Matt Corral hurt his knee in the Sugar Bowl and didn't run, only threw the ball at the NFL camp. It's weak because they were freshmen when COVID happened, yeah. Steven, according to Sports Illustrated mock draft, the Dolphins will go O-line. Look, they should. But, again, Greer will take the best player available. Greer will not hesitate to take best player available. Wish we could have gotten Linderbaum. Yeah, I was very upset that when he got to 20. I said, look, if he goes past 25, the Dolphins will consider moving up. And he got drafted at 25. And I was like, well, there goes that. Because he's the best center in the draft. I think any player that can help on run defense would be a thought in the draft. Here, Bip Pop Anonymous, 66. I'm going to give you a name. and it's not on the draft. Ndamukong Suh, I think, comes to Miami and plugs that. Here's another thing. I think a lot of things that went down yesterday will clear the way for some of these other. I don't be surprised if J.C. Tretter now is somebody that the Dolphins are now looking at, right? Don't be surprised if that happens, right? Like if we and here's the thing: what happens today? If we don't draft an inside linebacker, Melvin Ingram, that's another name, comes back into the fold. You know, there's still a lot of quality free agents, quality veteran free agents that the Dolphins can go after, and I think tonight will be any indication on how that goes. Here's what I'll say now, though, about the Deebo Samuel situation. I could be wrong. Maybe I am, but I think Deebo stays in San Fran now. I think San Fran had an astronomical price tag on him. Nobody was willing to pay that, whatever it was. And when it came down to it, they said, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go after A.J. Brown. We're going to go after Hollywood Brown. That's what I think happened. And some of the other names that you saw, like Kerjavius Toney, who was available for the Giants, he didn't get shopped. I think it's more likely he gets dropped at camp and somebody gives him a chance to do it. So, yeah, I'll say this. I think Deebo stays in San Fran, and I think that's how that goes. Because here's the thing. I think they have him on contract for another year. Plus, you can keep somebody on franchise tag for 2 additional years. And the way that there's a lot of penalties for sitting out. I mean, you can sit out, but there's a lot of penalties for it. So I think it's more likely Deebo Samuel stays in San Fran. I don't know what we do if we add another wide receiver or not. It won't be in the draft, but it'll be very interesting to see. Nonetheless, I can see Ingram and Shredder want money. Yeah. Unless Deebo plays real hardball and starts missing camp and all that good stuff, he'll stay in the 49ers. Yeah, I'm after what happened last night, I'm convinced of that. But I have to tell you, when the Ravens jumped back in to the end of the first round, I thought the Ravens were going after Deebo hard. But they didn't. It'll be interesting. Nakobe Dean has an ankle injury. Yeah, so he's hurt. So look, but that's somebody who Greer would do it. Let Nakobe Dean drop 10 spots tonight. If Nakobe Dean comes and all of a sudden we're at the 11th or 12th pick in the second round and Nakobe Dean's still on the board, hot take, Chris Greer will jump up to go get him. Because you arguably in 2 years in a row could have gotten maybe the best defensive player. Because Nakobe Dean, fully healthy, top 10 player. Top 10 player, fully healthy. Dolphins interviewed wide receivers more than any other position. Yeah, 100%. They sure did. All right, like I said, a lot of people, I tried to get planned on coming on. Vegas is over on that West Coast time, so they're like 3 hours behind us. So I don't know if anybody's coming on anytime soon. But, hey, man, I got a really good guy who did a big stream last night. Friend of the show. He's not banned despite what he'll tell you. He's never been banned on my channel, not one time. TD Fins Talk. What's up, TD? TD! Wake up, TD! TD! What's up, buddy?
Tired, man. I realized I streamed 8 hours yesterday.
You streamed 8 hours yesterday?
Yeah. Wait, I wasn't on your show yesterday, right?
No, I was on your show yesterday.
Oh, yeah. See, I can't even remember.
I didn't even do my show yesterday and came on your show for a little over an hour and a half. We had a good time.
Flex in the building. What's up, Flex, man? Man. Hey, Flex, man, you be confusing me on Twitter, bro. Who is your official NBA team? Is it the 76ers? I'm trying to understand who the
Speaking
team
of, Miami Heat playing the 76ers next week starting on Monday. Let's go.
Sixers and 5.
Get out of here with that nonsense. That blasphemous, the baloney.
Ain't neither team beating Boston, so
Get out of here. We'll talk about that when it comes. Hey, also, I got another friend of the show here. You all know him. You all love him. He's a handsome old man. Cameron 954. What's up, Cameron?
Cam.
Well, good morning, guys. Happy Friday to y'all. Happy Spread Kindness Friday. And old man
It is Spread
right.
Kindness Friday.
And my birthday's on Sunday, so I will be.
Happy birthday. How old are you're what? You're turning 21, 22, 23?
Yeah, 54.
Congrats, man.
Happy birthday, bro.
Thanks, brother. Thank you.
All right.
I was listening to the show this morning.
Okay. That's good.
And yeah, just wanted to see what you guys thought, what TD thought about the Jets picks.
Well, what you don't know behind the scenes is there's a chat on Instagram with all the AFC East roundtable guys. So for like the last hour and a half, all I got from my Instagram accounts were ding, 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 because everybody in the AFC East roundtable were like yelling at each other the whole morning.
Steven, you be creeping, man. Why don't you open your mouth in the chat, man?
Because there's no point. Like, I agree with 90% of the stuff that you say, and like 100% of the stuff that Master at Work says is all just trash anyway. Trash anyway. I said it.
The Jets did good yesterday, though. They did really good to help their organization. I think that put them up to about 7-8 wins on the season. No. They're rebuilding. That's a success for them because it's going to be a ton of young kids. So as they get more and more years under their belt, they'll get that 1-2 wins a year added on if it's a success. So they did well.
I think they did really good. You know, to go get Sauce Gardner with the 4 pick and then Jermaine Johnson with the 24th pick. I mean, they essentially got 2 top 10 defensive players, and they got a wide receiver, which is something they needed to go along with Kellen, or who's the wide receiver there?
You said it with the 20-something pick.
Is it 24th or 26th pick?
Yeah, well, they got 3 nice players last night, didn't they?
They did. They got the wide receiver.
Yeah,
and they got Sauce Gardner, and they got Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah.
They had the best night of the draft last night. There's no arguing that.
Best night?
Giants had a good night too.
I liked what the Lions did last night.
I thought they had the worst night.
The Lions?
So they got Aiden Hutchinson, right? That's good. I'll give them that.
And then you move up from 32.
But look what you had to give up, and who did they get?
I thought that was a steal. Look what they had to give up, Steven. They only had to give up 2 late-round picks.
Jameis Williamson.
I thought it was a steal, bro. They only had to give up
for Jared Goff to be throwing that guy the ball.
I'm saying you still got a weapon. You still got a guy who's one of the best receivers coming out.
So my winners last night were the Giants and the Jets, and my losers last night were the Lions and the Steelers.
So you're not going to add the Eagles in your winners?
See, I'm scared to say the Patriots, man.
They trash, man. They get a little linebacker. Who cares? You gonna skip over the Eagles?
The Eagles, what did the Eagles get last night? They got, I'm going through here. They got Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia. They arguably got the best defensive tackle in the draft. And that was it. That's all they did. And they got A.J. Brown last night. They did good.
That's a part of the draft.
Well, I think they did good last night.
They did phenomenal last night.
They gave a great weapon to Jalen Hurts, somebody who he can be comfortable with when he gets to the line of scrimmage. And they shored up their defense a little bit, with getting the best defensive tackle in the draft.
The best defensive tackle.
Yes, hands down.
That's a win. You got a already guaranteed wide receiver, not one that every single other guy that was picked. They gotta show up first. No, you went and got a guarantee, and you got the best defensive tackle prospect. They did it.
Okay, but losers, who do you think lost last night?
The
If
Ravens.
you don't think the Ravens,
Yeah. They got a center, but I mean, you got Lamar Jackson.
they got the best center in the draft, but
it wasn't your biggest concern. You got Lamar Jackson.
And you pissed off your quarterback tremendously.
And then you send a receiver away. You never had a number one. Then the guy who was acting as the number one, you send him away. And then when you get to the pick, you don't even replace him.
No. And that was like I was at my buddy's house who's a Ravens fan last night, and they're all like, well, if we jump back in, it's got to be for a receiver. And I was like, it's for Debo. You guys are going after Debo. Here's what I think. I have a theory. My theory is they got back into the first round right after that trade. They didn't wait. Like, they jumped in right after that trade. And I said they jumped back in because they're on the phone with San Francisco. And I don't think they could make it work. And that's what happened. Because they jumped back again from 23 to 26.
Whatever happened with the Ravens, they failed.
No, 100%.
Because look at Tennessee versus the Ravens. Tennessee traded their guy, and smartly, because they weren't going to give $25 million a year.
Yep.
Okay? But at least they went and got the prototypical receiver that matches his exact skill set.
His player comparison was A.J. Brown. I was like,
and Debo Samuels.
I said they just replaced him with a guy who cost $100 million less, and they get him for 5 years. It was a no-brainer for them, a no-brainer and it makes Tennessee come out looking really, really smart, really, really smart. Cameron, what did you think about the Kenny Pickett? What did you think about Kenny Pickett to Pittsburgh, Cameron?
So that's exactly what I wanted to talk about. I want to ask you a question, Steven. How many Super Bowl rings do the Steelers have with Ben Roethlisberger?
1.
How many times have they been to the playoffs?
A lot.
And they've been to numerous Super Bowls, even though they lost, right?
I think they've been to 3 Super Bowls. I think if I'm correct, Roethlisberger's 1 and 2 in the Super Bowls.
My point is, there's not a person in Pittsburgh that
2. All right, 1 and 1.
Not drafting Dan Marino.
That's what I said. I said
there's not a person in Pittsburgh that regrets that decision.
Yes, they do. They have nightmares about it.
I'll
tell you, bro. I'll tell you this right now. By the way, Roethlisberger has 2 rings. 2 rings.
Okay, and how many does Dan Marino have?
I said this. I've said this for years. I said if Marino got drafted by Pittsburgh, they would have won 6 rings with him.
Cameron's he's shooting all over the place, man.
Hey, listen, and
the
crux of my argument is that they don't regret not drafting Dan Marino because they got what they wanted with Ben Roethlisberger. And secondly, they drafted.
You're breaking up, Cameron, because the universe knows what you're saying is baloney.
Nah, Steven, I gotta agree with this man. I gotta agree with every single word he's saying about this, bro. Why would you regret not getting Dan Marino? You won 2 Super Bowls and had 3 appearances. You go to the playoffs
100%.
almost every single year. Bro, if we could do it all over knowing what we know now, I'm going to go Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you right now, they regret. Pittsburgh fans will forever tell you, if we had drafted Dan Marino, we would have won another 6 rings with him.
And I believe that.
I believe that.
And there ain't not one that tells me that. They're happy to go to Tampa every 4th year for the Super Bowl.
Let me tell you why Dan Marino wouldn't have worked in Pittsburgh. Did Ben have a running game when he went to the Super Bowls?
I want to say yes.
They always had a balanced attack.
Yeah, they always had a balanced attack.
A complimentary.
Dan would have shot that. Dan would have shot that in the foot. Le'Veon would have never been there. None of those guys.
I don't know, man.
And secondly, I'll tell you this: like Pickett to me was the only quarterback worthy of a first-round pick, and that's marginal at that. And Trubisky and Mason Randolph aren't surefire things. Trubisky doesn't have a track record of consistency. That's what smart franchises do. And Pickett has the tools that Ben Roethlisberger does. They could mold him into a Ben 2.0.
They were drafted
It's
11
not a far
years
stretch
apart.
from it.
They were drafted 11 years apart, Cam. They would have took Marino if they had to do it over. 100% they would have.
It doesn't matter.
Steven, if they would have took Marino, they might have been ringless. Not because Dan Marino has no rings, but they had a running game over there in Pittsburgh, and they always have. And Ben was the perfect complement quarterback to go along with it.
What I'm telling you, so this is my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. My opinion is they picked Pickett last night because they did not want the Marino thing to happen again. They were scared
that has
that
zero
would
to
happen
do
again.
with their evaluation.
You can say what you want. I'm telling you, the ghost of that pick haunts them.
Man, you draft with your heart. You're a perennial losing team, just like Jacksonville. That's exactly what Jacksonville.
We are a perennial losing team, but that's neither here nor there. It's all to his fault. It's all to his fault.
Hey, you had to throw that salt in there, right?
Now, I will say this, Cam. I do agree with you on this. I think that Pickett was the best quarterback in this draft, and he probably still wasn't worth a first rounder. Maybe he was probably a bit more second rounder.
Like I said, he's a marginal first round pick. But you know what? Pittsburgh, identified their player and the prospect, and they like the guy. Believe me, there's no other team in the NFL that had more evaluation, and because he played right underneath their nose than Pickett. If they like the guy, they went out and got him, and I like that.
Yeah. The big name today that I'm interested to see if he gets traded and where he goes, quarterback wise, is Matt Corral from Ole Miss. I'm interested to see where he goes.
Traded.
Huh?
Traded, you said?
No, Matt Corral.
I honestly,
You said to see him if he gets traded.
I meant where he goes. I meant to see where he goes.
Matt Corral?
Matt Corral.
I'd be shocked if.
And Sam Howell too, out of North Carolina.
I'd be shocked if that kid. I'd be shocked if either one of those go before the third round.
Before the third round?
I really think Desmond Ritter probably has the most. Yeah.
Do you think Ritter has the more upside? You think Desmond Ritter has more of an upside than whatchamacallit, than Malik Willis?
Malik Willis to me is a third round pick at best.
Yeah, that's what Miami's going to do at 102.
No, they're not. Get out of here.
You haven't heard. Okay.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening. Do you think there's any situation? What do y'all think about Nakobe Dean still being on the board?
Didn't he's coming off
an injury, an ankle, right? Ankle injury.
Yeah, but he suffered that late, it was a pretty bad injury that he suffered in the bowl game, right?
It was, but I think that him being available there, if he drops past 10 or 12 tonight, he's somebody I could see Chris Greer, going after.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have a second round pick.
I'm convinced. I'm not convinced, but there's something in my gut saying, man, I think the Dolphins are jumping into the second round for somebody. Yeah, I don't know who it's going to be.
We're going in the second round, but it's not going to be jumping. We'll just trade a player.
Who do you think it's going to be, and what type of player do you think?
Probably Gesicki, like I've been reporting all week. Gesicki could be traded for a second round pick. So if they got somebody they love in the second round that can help this team, whether it be a right tackle or a inside linebacker potentially, Gesicki could be on the move tonight.
I agree with that. And I've been saying that for weeks as well, TD. He's just, just the way they set it up, he's expendable, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, best inside linebacker available is Nakobe Dean. And then best offensive lineman available is Bernard Raheem out of Central Michigan.
I don't think they'll go lineman. I think it could be a true inside linebacker. Have him come in and see if he can win an inside linebacker position.
Well, that'll be Christian Harris, or the kid from Alabama.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that might be a plan the Dolphins can take advantage of.
Cameron Jurgens is a center out of Nebraska.
I don't think they have to trade up to draft any of the centers that are available. The kid from Nebraska, the kid from Kentucky, the kid from Arizona State, they all can be had in the third or fourth round and fit the need that the Dolphins had at center. At least their need is just to give Dieter competition, right?
And I don't like that. I don't like using a draft pick for I don't know about like a second or third rounder, maybe a later rounder for competition, but
and listen, I don't think that that's what they do, but if they go center, I'm just identifying some players that they could go after. And I came on here earlier in the week, TD, and I said, they're going to draft, if they stay at 102, they draft the best player available, and I love the kid, the outside linebacker, hybrid defensive end from University of Miami of Ohio. He played 1 year. The kid's got like Cameron Wake get off skills. He's raw but talented. And he's the type of player that the Dolphins set themselves up to get. Somebody they could groom because they've done a lot in the offseason to fill needs. That this draft, to be honest with you, isn't going to fill. This, and that's why you saw so many trades.
It's a weak draft class. Very
is because talent evaluators aren't in love with the draft at the top end. It's weak in the top end. It's very strong in the middle rounds where you can provide substance for your roster filling and good backup players. But it's nobody that I would trade up to get in that first 10 picks. It just wouldn't happen if I were in that position.
For us, we only have 4 picks in this draft, right? And the Ravens have 6 fourth-round picks.
Wow.
6 fourth-round picks. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, but to have that many fourth-round picks, they'll be active in the third round.
That's what I said. I said they're going to jump up. They're going to jump up and get some players. 100%.
That's likely. That's highly likely.
So let me ask you just a couple of questions. So going back to the wide receiver situation, I think that there's some quality wide receivers coming up in the second and third round here. Did Debo not get traded because there were other players available in the NFL and there's quality players in this draft? Is that why Debo didn't get traded? Because the price tag San Francisco had to have asked was just way too high. And they're like, we can go get a good wide receiver somewhere else.
Well, I don't know the science behind what. Oh, go ahead, Cameron. My bad.
Real quick, and I'm interested to hear TD's take on this. Is that I don't think it has much to do with what San Francisco's asking, but what Debo's demanding for his contract demands. He's out there telling people that he wants 25 per, and you're talking about a year and a half worth of production in a hybrid offense. Like, there's not a lot of teams out there that's going to take that gamble for $25 million.
I think Debo is trying to force himself to a specific location, and he may be telling anybody coming to trade for him a ridiculous, crazy amount, and which runs them away so that he can get to whatever preferred destination he's really trying to go to for a lower price. And I think San Francisco, they want the right type of draft capital. They're not going to take anything. I mean, as Deebo Samuels, the year that the kid had was very valuable. It was just very valuable. And if you can get that kind of production on your team, that's huge, man. And
so that, for me, that points to Green Bay, right? They didn't replace who they lost. And, Rodgers.
Yeah, but the issue with that in Green Bay is, what if Debo tells you the money he wants is more than what you passed up on paying the guy you already had?
Devontae Adams.
And listen, who's to say that Debo even wants to go to Green Bay? But I'm just trying to fit the puzzle piece into the puzzle here.
Do you think the Dolphins draft a wide receiver at all today or tomorrow?
I don't have a clue, man.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think there's.
No.
There's quality wide receivers. There's quality wide receivers, but I don't see them doing it. We have other needs. We have other pressing needs.
There's no quality wide receivers that are better than the current, wide receiver room, at least 1 through 5, right?
Nah, 100%. Now, other question. With what happened yesterday with Tyler Linderbaum being taken at the 25th overall pick, where does that put J.C. Tretter? Because I think there were a lot of teams that were going to see if Tyler was going to drop. And now I think that opens the door for somebody like J.C. Tretter to now actually have an opportunity to sign with the team. What do you think that means for J.C. Tretter? Or do you still think teams are looking at, okay, there might be another center or two in day 2 that we like before the J.C. Tretter ball drops?
Go get J.C. Tretter.
I agree. That's who I want now. I said Tyler.
That's how I feel about the draft.
Interesting. You don't like anybody.
I don't like the draft. I don't like players out of the NFL draft. Go look at the 300 and some players that are selected every single year, and 4 years later, you got 45 of them and 50 of them in the NFL. I mean, nobody talks about those type of statistics either.
No, look, I don't disagree with you. I said for the last week and a half, I said Tretter's still out there because there are teams that want to see what happens in the draft today.
Mm-hmm.
And I said day 2 is going to be a big deciding factor. And I think after today, depending on where some of these guards and centers fall, we'll get a better handling on where is Tretter maybe headed. And my hope is that if we don't go offensive lineman in the 2nd or 3rd rounder, then we go after Tretter. If we do go O-line in the 2nd or 3rd rounder, then we're not getting Tretter.
Bro, are you saying specifically center?
Nope. If we get a guard, we don't go after Tretter.
Why would we need a guard?
That right side of the line needs to be, a little bit better, whether it's a guard or a tackle or a center. I mean,
Robert Hunt is the guard right now.
Okay, and then Dieter would play center, so then you'd have tackle, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And there's no really great tackles left in this draft.
And I don't think they're trying to address it either, though. So that's why I'm not really worried about that. And I hope they don't waste the pick and just go get a guy and seeing if they can project them. Don't waste the pick. I'd rather project a linebacker or something before that.
So if they get a guard, let's say they got a guard today. You still think there's a scenario where they get this guard and there's a world that they still get J.C. Tretter too?
But again, I don't think they'll get a guard. I'm not in on a guard.
It'd be a center.
I'm not in on anybody in the draft.
You said O-line. You said that the Dolphins picked today in the 2nd rounder and that they would go O-line.
They could go O-line, but that's moving up to the 2nd round. I'm just thinking about the 3rd round pick right now.
Well, that 3rd round pick's going to be a linebacker, in my opinion.
Yeah, once we get to the 3rd round, I don't want no O-lineman. I don't care what position it is. That's a project.
You're not wrong.
I rather you go invest in a project linebacker or cornerback at this point, with linemen, because you see, Steven, we already have too many linemen. That's the issue. Draft pick linemen within the last 3 years. That's what Miami's dealing with right now. They have to make one of those guys that's sitting there that's going to be fighting for a spot work out. You can't just have all these guys sitting on the side where you're throwing them away and keep on bringing in new guys and you're still trying to figure out a position. I mean, you got Austin Jackson still on a rookie deal, Liam Eichenberg, Solomon Kinley, and a few other guys. It doesn't make sense. Somebody has to work out, or you failed drafting O-linemen.
Yep, you did. And not only that, now it goes back to what I've been saying for weeks now. Matt Applebaum's the best acquisition of this offseason. And if he's worth anything as an O-line coach, he needs to build up what's already in-house.
Yeah,
he needs to build up what's already in-house.
And that's what they're going with. That's why I'm not concerned at all about alignment in this draft at all, unless you're going to be in the 6th round just playing around.
Okay. All right. That look, man, I see where you're at, and I think that you bring up very. So then that to me that tells me then that's the route that the Dolphins end up going on. And
likely.
Then they're probably gonna go linebacker.
See, okay, so here's the issue I have with the Miami Dolphins, the way we're set up with contracts right now. You don't have enough picks to address enough things. So, for instance, we know we need to find linebackers of the future, right?
Yep.
We just got a whole bunch of guys, but we don't have dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another area that we have to start looking at for the future, the cornerback position.
Corner?
Yeah. Absolutely. Who do you have?
Isn't our secondary the best secondary in the NFL?
Yeah, for another year.
All right. I mean, look, that's not where I would have went. That's not where I would have gone.
See, the draft is the draft. If it's not a 1st round pick or a 2nd round pick, the draft is where you're making picks for 2 to 3 years down the line. You're not everybody you draft this year isn't for this year. It's, you bring in guys that have high upside and you want to have them on the roster for a few years to develop. So after the 1st and 2nd round, everybody you're picking, you have a plan in place to where I go get this guy in the 4th round that's a corner. The goal is to develop him to replace Byron Jones next year or the year after. If it works, we won. If it doesn't, hey, that's the chance we took, because it was a 4th rounder. That's what's
I think if you have 7 or 8 picks, that's fine. But when you only have 4 picks, maybe 5, you need to go. Your picks need to be more hits than misses.
Steven, TD is right. Steven, TD is right on the money, man. We're not drafting with these 4 picks starter material. We're drafting people to groom, play
to replace somebody in the future, hopefully.
The road, just like TD said, hopefully, right.
And what guaranteed players are you talking about in the 3rd and 4th round anyway, Steven?
I mean, that's well, 2 things. Number one, we have said the Dolphins have hit on 5 out of their last 7 3rd-round picks. So we already know that they're good at drafting in the 3rd round. And if they get into the 2nd, you got to think the 2nd and 3rd round picks are potential starters.
Name the 3rd round
potential
picks,
starters
over
the last 7 years.
Yes.
All right, hold on. Let me get into it.
Hey, see, TD, I was thinking about this while I was off there for that 5 minutes. If they do jump in the 2nd round, it's only because maybe the kid from Iowa State drops. The running back.
Wait. See, I don't think they're heavy on a running back either. Mike McDaniel don't play that.
Well, he plays a run-heavy attack.
Yeah, but he don't care none, but he ain't trying to use any asset of value on a running back. Mike McDaniel tell you in his press conference, you can go find running backs in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round.
You ready? You ready?
Yes, sir. Let's go.
Last year, Hunter Long, the book is still out on him.
Of course. A project, though, right?
He's a project. Okay. Brandon Jones, starter material. Good kid.
Is he a starter?
He would be on any other secondary. He's good.
No, that's not true, Steven. So in another thing, what did he do his rookie year?
Nothing. He didn't do nothing. But
so now they're working him into his position this year or next year. Keep going.
Michael Dieter.
Same thing. And people want to replace him right now. But I like him.
Fourth year, and he's finally getting a chance to start improving.
And that's what it's supposed to be.
Jerome Baker.
Exactly.
We all know the story on that.
Yep.
I don't even know why he got that money, but whatever.
By default.
Cordia Tankersley.
Cordrea Tankersley. I don't know where he at. So
Minnesota
when he,
on the bench.
But he's still in the NFL, and
but Steven,
he's not on the Dolphins.
Point.
And then 2016 Kenyon Drake.
So
what I'm saying is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, possibly 5 out of the last 7 drafts, we've gotten quality players in the third round.
Bro, no. That ain't what we're talking about. Remember what we said. First and second rounders you're bringing in for now. The third, fourth, fifth, and all of that, you're bringing them in to hopefully develop them so that they can take over in 2 to 3 years later.
That's a fair
And that's
statement.
exactly what all of those players you named are in the process of doing right now.
Well, Jerome Baker's the exception. Jerome Baker's the exception to that.
But he's also the exception to the rule when we purged the whole roster and all the scrubs were playing. Remember, he got to have playing time because we had nobody else.
I mean, look, and to my argument too, if you were right, and today Gesicki gets traded, Hunter Long's probably the guy that's going to step in. Him and Durham Smythe.
Of course, you got to step up. Him and Durham Smythe, and who knows, they might even bring in another guy just to have even more depth. We don't know, but you drafted Hunter Long when last year?
Third
round.
Yeah, he's a third round.
He got to step up this year and fill a role. He got to.
And he was starting to. He was starting to at the end of last year. You know, but he had an injured knee, and they kept him on the shelf.
And don't forget, one of the best coaches we brought in, one of the few proven coaches we brought in. Let me say that was the tight ends coach.
The last Miami Dolphins third round pick to not make the 53-man roster, 1998. The last Dolphins third round pick to not start a game as a rookie was offensive lineman Billy Turner in 2014, who, by the way, still in the NFL.
Well, hold on. I mean, we're talking about third round. Yep. You're going to have your third round pick on a 53-man typically.
Yes. And what I'm saying is Dolphins have a good track record of getting serviceable, quality players in the third round.
But again, Steven, we're not debating right now, I don't think. I mean, what you're saying is correct.
Also you have to look you have to look at this year's team, and the team is in a different position with these draft picks, right? Like we said earlier, they're not in an area of need with these draft picks as they were the past few years.
So remember what the original comment that I made was that brought us down this road. Mm-hmm. Miami is going to be picking players that you got to look at the team and say, who's up for a contract in the next 2 years that we may not be able to continue with. That's your cornerback position. Byron Jones, I don't see him in a Dolphin uniform for 2 years. 1, yeah, but 2, I'm not so sure about that. So they got to start looking for their replacement corner. You think they're going to be looking for a wide receiver to develop behind these guys right now? They at least got 1 year to do that. You still got Waddle on a rookie deal. You just brought Tyreek in. You got all these other guys. They at least got another year or even 2 before they start looking
Cedric
for
Wilson with 2 more years on that contract.
Yeah. But cornerback, you got to start finding a replacement now. Interior linebacker,
because I feel like we're on
a legitimate one.
And I feel like we're on borrowed time with X's knees, and regardless of his contract status. Like he's not going to be playing at this level forever.
I'll do you one better. Next year, if we don't trade these draft picks for a big player or something, those 2 first rounders next year, take a guess what positions those may be.
Well, if Tua has a good year, I mean, I think I think you go best quality player available.
No, it would be a specific position. Bro, we're talking about the first round, Steven.
You just
I mean,
said
what?
yourself,
You gonna go
identify
best player
starters with that first
available and
round.
go get another receiver?
No.
You gonna go best player available and go get a quarterback?
If Tua has a good year, no, they're not going.
Exactly. So think about next year, they would be well in their rights to draft a stud left tackle and move him in the guard for a year next to Armstead until Armstead is done. I'm telling y'all, Armstead may be just a 2-year guy. His guaranteed money is 2 years. He's getting older. He has forever been hurt. He may not make it to the 3rd, 4th year of the contract. So they'll be well in their rights to go ahead and look for his replacement next year to play next to him at guard or something like that, or have him on the right side. And then, these are the type of, everything in the draft is about the future. Yeah, you want to fill holes right now, but even filling a hole right now is for the future. So what holes do you have? What holes does this roster have? Right tackle, but it's not likely to address it because we got too many guys we already drafted in high rounds, and one of them got to make it. We can't let our money just go to waste. Fair. Middle linebacker, yes, I agree with that. But outside of that, what hole does the team have?
They don't.
Quarterback.
Well,
cornerback depth.
Stop hating, Cameron. You're a Tua hater.
I said cornerback, not quarterback.
Yeah, get your earphones checked. Make sure your earphones are plugged in properly.
He made me yank it out, man, with that Tua hate, man. Get off
He said corner. He said corner, not corner.
Well, he hating anyway because it sounds too close to quarterback. But no, so that's where I'm at with it, man. It's about the future. They got to find their replacements to continue to have a great team. You can't just, and at least we've gotten ourselves caught up to where we are in this process. We spent the last 3 years filling holes. And now,
and that's the point. You got to look at this draft, man. This team doesn't need players to come in and step in and start so much as they did in the past few years. This team is built to win this year, pushed all in.
Our next 2 years, every draft pick will be associated with the succession plan.
Yeah, man.
For certain players.
Let me hit the reset button real quick, guys. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I got TD Finns Talk co-hosting with me this morning, along with Cameron 954, who's actually live from Dirty Sportswear, where we usually film on Fridays during the season.
Nice.
Say hi.
What up?
What up?
Say hi to that's Robert, owner of Dirty Sportswear.
What's up, man?
Robert?
What up, big fella?
All right, man. Are you? I know, right? Dirty. See what I'm wearing? I wore it for you. I wore it for you.
He's wearing it for you.
There you go. Hey, you want to get my computer?
Buy one.
All right. Hey, look. So let me finish hitting the reset button real quick. So Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I do want to remind you all this. Every $10 donation that you guys donate we are giving away today after the show the Patrick Surtain autographed jersey. Here's how you enter. You can donate in increments of $10. You can donate on here on YouTube, or if you donate on Cash App or PayPal, you see the MSM Podcast Network labels there on Cash App and PayPal. I will double your entries. So instead of $10 being one entry, $10 will give you 2 entries. After the show today, I'm going to get on live again, and we're going to raffle this thing off to anybody who donated increments of 10. If you donate in increments of 50, I will triple your entries into there. So $50 instead of 5 entries, you'll get 15 entries. So go ahead and donate to the channel, help the channel grow, and get a really cool Patrick Surtain autograph jersey, courtesy of ZSM Sports, sponsor of the show. Shout out to Zachary and ZSM Sports. You know a lot about ZSM, don't you, Cameron?
I do, man. Zach's a good dude. He's the baker at my local Publix, which is funny. I see him. I just talked to him the other day. He said to give you guys a big shout out, and he appreciates everything. And he's definitely seen an uptick in his business because of the show. And he and I discussed that, and it's a great partnership.
It is a great partnership. Awesome. So donate to the channel today. Get in $10 entry. I think that $10 is great to try to get it to win a Patrick Surtain jersey and help the channel grow. I think that's a good deal. So, all right. let's get into a little bit of day 2. We talked already a little bit about that. TD thinks that you go for added depth. Cameron, are you on that same boat? You agree added depth is where you kind of go?
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, if they stand pat at 102, I love that kid from Miami of Ohio because he's a depth piece, but he's also high raw talent. And I'm not completely sold on Van Ginkel and how long he sticks around either. I think he's on his 5th year, right? His last year of his rookie contract. So you got to start looking at that position at TD's point and drafting his replacement. And this kid from Miami, Ohio, man, ticks all those boxes. And he had a really high grade from the draft. He just doesn't have a lot of tape because he played the position for 1 year. But he's somebody who's I love in the draft. And could see taking it 102.
You know, one of the things yesterday that was watching the draft, I was on Twitter yesterday, and the Rams were doing a live stream. And
that was
when
awesome.
when the kid from Chattanooga got drafted by the Patriots, it was hilarious because the reaction was from the Sean McVay, the head coach, said, "Hey, I spent all this time looking at this kid, and now all that's wasted." I say that statement because, TD, how much time do you think goes into GMs and head coaches looking at 3rd and 4th rounders compared to maybe top end picks or back end picks of the draft?
They spend more time looking at them than they do the top of the draft because that's where you get your steals. That's where you get your Russell Wilsons, your Dak Prescotts, your Tom Brady's. And if you can turn a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th round player into a generational player, Deebo Samuels and all of that, then you just leapfrogged your franchise by far. Like you profit. I mean, there's no greater profit. So you're trying to find the best prospects that have the potential to where your coaching can bring the most out of them. And if you can get that out of them, man, you're jumping ranks in the NFL. And it's not easy to do.
Listen, Belichick and the whole Patriots staff for decades have made a winning franchise out of identifying 3rd through 7th round picks. And they spend a ton of time on that, man.
And this is why I don't agree with the term reach. People always say, oh, they reached. So McVay had him in the 3rd round. Oh, was Belichick supposed to wait for the 3rd and let McVay get him? You see what I'm saying? I don't understand this term reach. When you know your guy who is your guy and you believe that they're going to be a certain talent, you go get them. You go get them where you believe the talent would actually be warranted.
And that's why the Steelers took Pickett where he got taken.
Yep. Just don't believe in that reach narrative for a player, man.
That's for all the draft talking heads that you see on ESPN and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Man. That's how they make their money.
Yeah, it don't exist in my eyes.
Kevin Lee Piper invented that word.
Kevin Lee donating $10. Kevin Lee, you will get into the autographed Patrick Surtain raffle giveaway that we're going to do after the show today. Keep on donating, guys. Plenty of slots open. Also, morning show, guys. I missed the draft yesterday since Miami wasn't drafting until today. So thanks for the updates. Can't wait till the season starts. This offense is going to eat. That's a good segue here. What did you all think? You know, we kind of briefly touched on it about the Jets. But let's go to each team. Jets, Patriots, and Bills. Who got better? What did you all think about their drafts yesterday and how it'll match up against us in the future? We'll start out with New England and then go to the Jets. What did you think about New England's pick with that kid from Chattanooga? Reaching with the 29th pick.
You just said, didn't we talk about reach just 30 seconds ago?
Yeah, we did.
Hey, man, like TD said, Belichick identified his guy and he went and got him for a reason, you know? Did he plug a hole? Sure, they had, the right side of their offensive line was a little weaker last year. They invested in Mac Jones. You got to protect him, and that's how I see it. It's a nothing burger to me, but, it's everything to Belichick, and that's all that matters to that team.
You look up, and 8 months from now, a kid like that going to the Pro Bowl, a kid like that lead his team to the playoffs, a kid like that has a Micah Parsons rookie type season, and you say Bill Belichick has done it again. Not saying that's going to happen, but that's what I think about it. You never sleep on Bill Belichick.
You don't, and it scares the hell out of me.
The things that you just shake your head like, what is he doing? He always shows you what he was doing. A few years later, you start to understand. So who am I to question it? At the end of the day, they need that anchor in the defense. That's an area where they wanted to replace and make better. And I believe they've gotten their guy, because for McVay to say what he said, that meant something. They were looking at this kid and they really liked him. And then another general manager came out and gave somebody a phone call and said,
it was Schefter or Ian Rappaport came out and said that
another GM said, I love this kid.
Yep.
So a lot of people probably were like, man, if we can move up in the second round to get him, we will. Bill win in the first.
So it makes me think, what does Bill Belichick, like, it's classic Bill Belichick. It's what does he know that we don't know? And look, I understand we're not supposed to be scared of the rest of the division, and I'm not saying that I am, but it's just like, man, like if he hits on this, like he's a genius. He's a freaking genius.
He's focused on Josh Allen, and that's it. And this is a move that helps in that situation, because you keep Josh Allen in the pocket passing, he's still good, but you can beat him. You let Josh Allen run the way that he does, you don't have a shot. And he just got a linebacker that's going to make Josh Allen think twice about continuing to leave that backfield.
Go ahead, Cameron.
No, and that's why I like that kid from Miami of Ohio for the Dolphins pick, because you got to beat Josh Allen, right? You have to, that's who their competition is on paper, and you got to keep accruing tools to beat the Bills, and putting pressure on Josh Allen is how you do it.
Well, look, this kid from the Patriots is an offense. He's a guard. He's 6'5".
He's a guard, yeah.
He's a guard.
Oh, wait. I thought we were talking about I'm mixing it up. I thought we were talking about the linebacker.
No. The Patriots had
who got the linebacker? Who got the inside linebacker?
Was that the Bills got the corner?
Yeah, maybe I'm talking about a whole nother team.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. They got the guard. They got the offensive guard Cole Strange from Chattanooga.
You are so right. Who am I mixing this up with? The inside linebacker.
Devin Lloyd out of Utah, who went to Jacksonville, is an inside linebacker.
No, it's another one.
That's the only linebacker that Quay Walker from Georgia went to the Packers.
Bro, I'm all messed up right now. I streamed for 8 hours yesterday, bro, and I'm really sleepy.
I will say this about,
I don't know why I've been thinking of a linebacker for the Patriots all morning.
I will say this about the Jets, if I may, that every one of those guys that they drafted are Sela guys, right? Sela guys, however you pronounce his name. He fits their mold. He fits their persona, their systems. And they also, identified needs to play the Bills and the Dolphins and match up better. The Jets are going to be competitive next year. And don't forget, they signed Braxton Berrios long-term, and that kid had a great year last year and has proven to be, a threat from the slot and the outside. Yeah, I'm talking about the Jets. And I love that kid. Yeah, hey, listen, they traded up for Jermaine Johnson. That kid was a terror last year.
The receiver, Tony, they got Corey Davis.
Yeah, Corey Davis, don't sleep on
They have weapons. The Jets, believe it or not, they have weapons.
And their defense wasn't horrible last year, and they just got better.
And did they get protection last night on the O-line?
No.
They got two defensive players and the wide receiver.
Yeah, they didn't get Evan Neal, but they already got a stud O-line. They actually did they get a defensive line?
Last year, their first round draft pick was the kid from Louisville, right?
Yeah, did they get an edge rusher and a cornerback?
They did. Cornerback, Sauce Gardner.
They got Sauce Gardner.
Yeah, that's the corner.
Yep, and they got
wide receiver from Ohio State,
Garrett Wilson.
Second. And then Jermaine Johnson, the edge, who was a terror at Florida State last year. Yes. He was the best player on that squad last year.
They got a great draft, bro. They loaded at receiver now. That's not going to be an issue.
They can get after.
And again, this is what's funny about it. We always talk about our receiving core, speed. But these other teams got great receiving cores. They may not be as fast, but they're more dynamic as far as what they can do. Because here's the thing. You know what we don't have? The player that's really going to win the 50-50.
So let me ask you about that. Why did they re-sign Preston Williams?
Because they still trying to squeeze something out that lemon.
Because they think he's the 50-50 guy, right?
No, Preston has never been the 50-50 guy. Preston don't go up to get 50-50s. Preston actually was beating his guys. Preston was making plays. Yeah. He was never the guy just leaping over you to make the catch. Like
Colorado State, the last year at Colorado State, he did a lot of back end zone catches over cornerbacks. But again, that's the competition he was playing. My point is, on the Dolphins roster right now, he's probably the best outside of Gesicki. 50-50 guy potentially.
But what playing time will he get?
Yeah, who knows?
He won't even be on the field.
He's got to beat somebody, right?
And who is he gonna be?
He ain't gonna beat nobody. But why? So my question is, why did they even re-up him for another guaranteed
Because you
contract?
keep the asset because he's young still. He's a talent that they still obviously believe in. And they're hoping that, and this will be his last straw, by the way. They're hoping,
sure.
and hold on, they signed him, but that doesn't mean he makes the team.
Oh, it's guaranteed.
What, $700,000?
No, it's like 1.1 million, which I in today's world ain't nothing. But
Still
my point
ain't
is that
guaranteed he makes
we
the team.
signed him.
Somebody
They
wants to
re-signed
donate that amount. I won't be mad at them.
They re-signed him.
Anything over $10,000, Steven, has to be divided by who's on the screen. Okay.
Hey, TD, just to let you know, we're both still waiting, right?
Hey, I don't even know why I said 10,000. Hey, 1,000.
Anything by 1,000 divided 3 ways. All right.
I'll take chicken wings for lunch. How's that?
Divided 3 ways before the YouTube cut.
Before the YouTube cut. No, we're not
leaves
going
you
to
in nothing. Matter of fact, you were old, Steven.
Right. YouTube taking 80%. Shoot,
Hey, listen, the bots did follow TD here. What's his webcam bullshit up here in the?
Swear jar.
Steven needs to go to subscriber only chat.
Subscriber only chat. I've never done that yet.
Do you have YouTube up?
Yeah, I got YouTube up.
Go to this video. Are you watching yourself on YouTube?
Yeah, I got the thing up.
Go down to edit video.
Right
by the like button. You see it?
Hold on. I have the thing up, the studio part up.
No, you can go to the regular. Well, go to this video though.
All right, hold on. Give me a sec.
You could have went through the regular video.
All right, I'm doing it. I'm on the regular video right now.
All right, do you see on the left it says customization?
No.
Steven, you clicked on the video? No, okay, Steven.
Yeah?
Just open YouTube and watch yourself.
I am watching myself on YouTube right now.
Okay, now do you see the edit video?
Yes, yep, edit video. Got it.
Now hit that.
All right, customization.
Yes, hit that.
Yep, subscribers only.
Yeah, hit subscribers only.
And how much time?
I just usually do it depends. It's not a hostile comment section, so do 1 minute. But if people are really hostile, I do like 20 minutes, so you still gotta wait a long time. So I'm gonna do 1 minute.
I'm gonna do 1 minute. Subscribers only.
1 minute. So they gotta at least be subscribed for 1 minute to be able to chat.
All right, so hit save, and then hit save. Then hit save. Then hit save.
It'll switch to subscriber only mode, and guess what? You'll get more subscribers too because
watch that viewership go down.
No, because there are some ignorant people that be like, "Oh, you're trying to make us pay
Right.
to watch the channel now? You're all about money. It's free to subscribe. What are
It
you
don't
talking
cost
about?
nothing to subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Oh,
But
man,
it
that's
keeps
awesome.
all the bot. It usually helps with keep the bot accounts out and stuff
What?
like that. You know.
All right, so we did 1 minute. We'll see what happens. You should all buy me a coffee. They don't want to take a cut from your donations. All right, so Matt Ariza, just for the sake of the conversation, does he get drafted today?
Who? Ariza? No.
Yeah.
No, man.
In the what round do you have him going?
I said as high as the third I could see him going, but it was more. He'll be a fourth rounder, but I could see him go. I could see a team saying, "Wow, I'm gonna take a chance on him on the third rounder."
What do you like about him, Steve?
I mean, look, the kid can drop 75-yard bomb punts. He can change the ends of the field. I'm not saying that I want him personally. I like Morstead. I'm good with Morstead. But, I'm interested. I don't think we've ever seen a punter like this in the draft in the last 10 years.
Yeah, but he'll go in the 5th round.
I mean, look, that's it. I think it'll be the 4th. I'll think it'll be the 4th. Cam, do you live by an air base? No, Cam is.
I was just about to say, comment that if you hear in the background, it's the Fort Lauderdale Air and Sea Show is this weekend, and I got fighter jets, F-16s, practicing right over us right now. It's pretty crazy. That's what you hear.
Vonjo wants to know, what do you think about Lamar Jackson to Miami now?
Von Joe's the hater too, but if things
Anything
implode this
short
year,
of Tua, you're a hater.
honestly, I was thinking about this earlier. If they don't cave into his contract needs, meaning Baltimore, if they identify Jackson as not the long term, like, would you re-up Jackson for another 5 to 8 years? I don't think so. And if Tua implodes, if the Dolphins don't make the playoffs and this team gets stripped down,
But what are they doing? Who are they going to bring in at receiver?
Who?
Baltimore.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. There's not much out there in the free agent class.
How is he supposed to make it worth it that, hey, I'm your franchise quarterback, give me my big money, if they're setting him up to – I don't get it.
I don't either. Like, I don't think they're setting him up for success for sure, to your point.
What if they're saying, we already know what kind of money you really want, and we're not willing to give that to you, but you know what? Let's go ahead and get rid of Hollywood Brown. You take us to the playoffs with what you got now. Oh, you definitely can get that money then.
You think it's a test?
I don't have no other answer unless they try to get Deebo Samuels.
Kind of what they're doing.
Look, my theory last night was I said, because as soon as they made the pick, they drafted right back into the round. And I was like, you normally see somebody draft into a round to get a closer pick that's coming up. It was only the 12th pick or 13th pick, and they drafted to 23rd. I was like, why would they jump back in with 10 or 12 spots? Like, what's going on? And so my theory was like, they're on the phone with San Francisco. They have to be. And I think that Cameron is so loud.
That's crazy. That's crazy. You can hear that in my earbuds.
No, I think it's people too.
Yeah, we hear all the people. Well, it gets loud over at that place.
Yeah.
It's like
Fridays
a party
are busy here.
It's crazy. And we do the show live from there during the season. It's insane. We're gonna have a good season coming up, man. I'm excited. Are you ready for the? Did you see that second week Thursday night game is going to be Chargers and Chiefs?
Is that confirmed?
Yep, they announced it last night on the draft.
Second week Chargers Chiefs.
Thursday night. Hey, who's the Jets, New York Jets guy on the panel show, roundtable show?
Richie.
All All right. First of all, I've had Richie on here before. Great guy. Love Richie. Okay.
Richie
This
went
is-
off last night.
This is his reaction last night, which is funny.
And Joe Gardner is now a New York Jet. What up, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and the AFC? We about to lock you down, baby. We coming. That's why they do that, Tyreek Hill. Oh, cool. We got Sauce Gardner to end up on a touchdown for his entire collegiate career. Wow. Do it. And Joe Sauce Gardner is now a New York Jet. What up, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, and the AFC East? We about to lock you down, baby.
Yeah, he went off last night, bro.
Dude, does his mom know he's running up his internet bill?
But we like him. He's a good guy. But man, Richie is hilarious, dude.
Hey, man. The Jets got a pick, though.
The Jets definitely had the best draft of the evening. And it sounded like people in Vegas had a lot of fun. It sounded like Vegas was a good time. I talked to Nick from Tail Greeter. He's over there in Vegas. Allie, Dolfreaky, they're all over there in Vegas. Mark Angelo, Jason Miller, Danny Johnson from TPP. They're all over there in Vegas. They loved it. They thought it was great.
Hey, we got to say something to our man Solo for hosting that draft party last night and not giving us the tip.
Oh, what? Solo had a draft party? Where?
At Hard Rock last night.
Solo hosted it?
Go look at his Instagram.
Hold on, let me go look at his Instagram.
On his reels.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Hey, the Dolphins didn't have a pick last night. I got invited to go to the Elton John show last night. It was pretty damn good.
I'm gonna tell. I didn't get invited to the party. Solo.
Nope, me neither.
Yeah, I'm looking right now. I don't see too much on it.
I am hurt. Solo's supposed to be our brother, I believe.
Well, it is Miami sports music. He did create it. Cam's hurt. Cam, Marlins swept this weekend.
5 straight.
5 straight wins for the Marlins, man.
And I was on Twitter giving Matt and Lisa beef because it was a getaway day, 1:00 game, and I get it. You got to rest your starters for the long trip, and you got a West Coast swing coming. But you're on a 4-game win streak, and you got to get every win you can against the division rival that you're supposed to beat, and they did. Even with half their starters out of the lineup. John Birdie, came off the bench, and I think it was 2 for 3 with a double and 2 runs. Like the Marlins are good.
Marlins look really good.
And they have some of the best starting pitching in all of baseball, and that's enough to take them to the playoffs. If the bats come alive this summer, the Marlins are going to surprise some people.
No doubt. Hey, also, playoffs round 2 matchup is set. Sixers Heat. What do you think about that, Cam? What do you think about that?
I would have rather seen Toronto, tell you the truth, because Bam does not match up with Embiid well at all.
Sixers and 6.
You just said Sixers in 5 earlier, bro. Which one is it?
I forgot it was a 6 in their name. Sixers and 6.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Bro.
You don't have that much.
Embiid going for 50. Embiid going for 50 every night.
It's a bad matchup for the Heat.
Embiid is going for 50 every night.
Miami and 6. Miami and 6.
Boy, y'all Heat fans.
Miami and 6. Miami and 6, bro. Like their team looks good. Heat and 5. Heat and 5. Put your money up, TD.
I'll do you one better.
Heat and 5.
The 76ers will win a game in Miami in the first 2.
I agree with that too.
Heat and 6. Stop playing, bruh. Embiid is hurt. Keep that in mind, TD.
Okay, he ain't going for 50 then. 48.
He's not hurt though.
Yeah, man. We're talking
just
about
like
this
Butler
man playing against
and
Bam. This man playing against Bam Adebayo. I'm gonna tell you now. The problem with Bam is Bam is a great defensive player, but Embiid is an elite offensive player. Embiid's gonna get his points anyway. The problem is Bam ain't gonna score as much. Bam is going to drop his production. You might well wipe out about 8 points from Bam now.
Word of mouth says 4-1. Book it.
Sixers?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're a Heat fan, Cameron. What the hell, dude?
I am a Heat fan. I
respect the realist in them.
It's a bad matchup.
K-Flex and Sixers have the 2 best players in the series.
Now, the only thing that may help you, and K-Flex ain't going to like this, is the fact that at some point in every playoffs, James Harden is going to disappear.
Listen, he can't play a lick of defense, so Jimmy Buckets got to be Jimmy Buckets for this team to have a chance. And Tyler Hero he's got to do more than what he did against Atlanta.
And I don't understand people. I would make James Harden shoot threes all night. You make him, okay. But I ain't finna let you go get them easy layups and then ones all day.
Word of mouth. He have a better team and coach. He have a better. You don't think so?
What happened?
He have a better team and coach.
Man, I still don't understand why y'all think Eric Spoelstra is a great coach.
You over here talking all this blasphemy. Eric Spoelstra.
When has he ever coached
up
a team? When has he ever coached up a team with no talent to do anything?
The bubble.
No talent. I mean, it's basically the same team you got now almost. Minus a few shooters.
I'll tell you, no, Strus is light years above what Robinson gave him 2 years ago in the bubble.
Oh, yeah. But it's talent, man.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Talk about TD, look at Spo's resume. The one with LeBron James, all these guys, D-Wade and all them. I mean, what you want me to say? When you got players like that, I can go coach. I could have coached the LeBron, Bosh, and Wade Heat and got a championship. Y'all stop.
Took them 2 years to get it.
Yeah, because Boston ran through them.
And you think Boston's going to run the East again?
No, I'm talking about that big three with KG and them. But
anything is possible.
But the Heat ain't got no chance of beating this Boston now. They have no shot of beating it. They better hope Boston goes down in this next round. Because even if they were to beat the Sixers, they have no shot at beating this Boston.
Pete's mad at us. Miami content creators are talking baseball and basketball. Every other team is taking NFL draft and how they upgraded their team. Screw you, Greer. Screw you, Greer.
What's Greer got to do with this, Pete?
Pete hates Greer.
Let's go, Boston.
Boo.
Let's go, Boston.
See, people were surprised that Boston beat the Nets, and the Nets were nothing. You guys got to remember, Boston's the number 2 seed for a reason.
Well, I'm sorry. When you got Kevin Durant putting up 35 to 40 every night and Kyrie putting up 30 every night, and they still couldn't get a win, ain't nobody beating the Celtics this year. They better hope the Celtics go down in this round.
Why people thought the Nets had a chance against the Celtics is beyond me.
Hey, tell that person they owe to the swear jar who just cussed in the background.
But listen, I'll say this: the Nets would have took the Heat to 7.
Von Knight Forrest says TD must be a Knicks fan.
No, let's go Boston.
Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Hey, I want to remind you.
He's got to get his Boston TD talk up in viewers. That's why.
Let's go. Go and advertise for me, Cameron. Tell him, Cameron. Don't subscribe. TD Celtics talk, baby.
TD Celtics talk.
That's right. Hey,
since you brought it up.
I do know everything there is to know about the Celtics, though. So maybe I need to get that one cracking. TD Celtics talk, baby.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you. So anytime I'm on social media or I see somebody talking about TD, the number one hate comment that I always see is TD Seahawks talk. TD Heat, TD Saints talk.
Listen,
TD. I'm like, y'all leave that man alone.
I need to go make all those. Alone. I need to make all the channels for real because every time they do stuff like that, they be like, "Oh, let me go see."
Stop
advertisement, baby.
Sports Center. What do you mean? Stop. We sound worse than Sports Center. What are you talking about? Sports Center don't talk about Miami, but for 5 seconds on nothing.
Listen, Y'all wait, who the Celtics got Milwaukee?
I think so.
So that'll be a tough one. Is Middleton out for the rest of the playoffs?
No.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one though, because that's your two big dogs in the East, really.
Yeah, Middleton makes
those
them
two teams, the Bucks and the Celtics. The Heat, they just caught a good little streak of other teams going through drama during the regular season, so they were winning games. And they're a good team. The Heat are a good team, and they play great defense. But you ain't stopping. You ain't stopping Embiid from scoring. You ain't finna be stopping James Harden. You ain't, because you know what? You know why y'all gonna have a difficult time against Philly? The way y'all play defense is the way the Heat play defense is perfect for James Harden. That's what he loves. Get real physical with me. I am going to manipulate this game like no other. Get all the little knick-knack fouls and all of that crap he do.
Man, I can't wait to see that junkyard dog Tucker get after Harden and see what happens. Because that to me, he's the shutdown on Harden.
Hey, I want to remind everybody, donate $10 to the channel.
I'll be right back.
We're going to do the giveaway here in a little while. Donate to the channel, $10 donations. Enter to win a Patrick Surtain autographed Aqua jersey. We're doing the giveaway after the show today. Donate $10 through Cash App or PayPal. I'll double your entries. If you donate $50 increments, I will triple your entries. Get in now. Let's go. Cameron, tell him to donate.
Donate. Like Steven's life depends on it.
I don't know if my life depends on it, but
it does, because your wife's going to start whooping your ass.
You're not supposed to tell people that, Cameron. She beats me.
Okay, Johnny Depp.
Dude, that whole situation is crazy,
Dude,
bro.
It's must-see TV, man. It
is insane, that whole situation. Hey, Panthers talk real quick, man. President's Cup, baby. President's Cup. I don't know if that's a bad or a good thing, because the last team to win the President's Cup, to win the Stanley Cup, was the Rangers, I think, in 93, 92.
I don't know, man. But all I know is that the Panthers are clicking on all cylinders right now, going into the playoffs with a hell of a lot of momentum. But I will tell you this.
I'm still scared of Tampa. I'm scared of them.
Well, they came down here to prove a point, and they beat them up 8-4.
They did, man. Who are they going to face in the first round? Do we know who we face in the first round yet?
I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but Tampa Bay came down here on a mission, and that's just to show the Florida Panthers who is still boss and who's the reigning champions, and they did that.
Dude, we win against them, we're going to do fine. We win against Tampa, we win it all. But
we probably won't see them until the final Eastern Conference Finals, right?
No. Last year, I think we faced them in the second round.
But based on seedings this year, last year we barely made the playoffs, right? We were the 8th seed or 7th seed. Yeah,
you might be right. Okay.
And Tampa's number 2, if I'm not mistaken, or number 3.
But don't they reseed in the NHL?
I don't know.
Their playoff system is a little weird. It's not typical.
I really don't know, man.
Where does Malik Willis end up tonight?
He doesn't tonight.
Really? No, I disagree. He goes in the second round.
No, he goes tomorrow.
Well, that means you think he goes in the 4th round? Remember, it's 2nd and 3rd round tonight.
I think 4th or 5th round. I think Ritter gets drafted before him. I think Corral gets drafted before him. I think the kid from North Carolina gets drafted before him, and I think that's it. And then Willis maybe sneaks in the 3rd, but I really see him as a 4th.
Jose Valdez, you got to donate $50 for me to say it again. You got to donate to the channel for me to say it again, Jose. Is there any sports figure in Miami that TD does like? TD stepped away for a second. He said he'd be back, but I'll have to ask him when he comes back. That'll be interesting. Second round winner would be the Leafs and the Leafs versus Bolts. Okay. All right. Well, that's interesting. I'll say this: if Malik drops that far, I would be very surprised if Malik Willis drops to the 4th or 5th round.
If he drops the 4th and 5th round, you're going to see teams start looking at him because he's got talent, right? He just hasn't, he played in a one-trick pony offense where his route trees that weren't that elaborate. He didn't play against NFL caliber players. Like I said, he's got the physical talents. Does he have the talent, between the ears and the experience to play in the NFL? Clearly not. And the quarterbacks that I mentioned before him, Corral, Ritter, and the kid from North Carolina, all do. And that's why I say what I say. So someone that I believe podcast here, would we draft Willis if he drops like that? I think that's a distinct possibility. Because here's the thing, like, you still got to draft a backup to Tua. I mean, you're not going to expect Teddy football to be around here forever. And I'm of the Parcells theory that you draft the quarterback every year, right? Like, I like that theory.
Yeah, but Greer's never been known to do that.
No, he hasn't. But
Greer's never been known to do that, so I don't see why that would. I don't see why that would happen. I mean, the last quarterback we drafted was what's his face from Cincinnati, that is now on Cincinnati, I think, right? Back up in Cincinnati.
And we drafted a kid from Western Kentucky.
Hey, TD Celtics talk. How are you?
I'm good. I just we got off the phone with Joel and B. Say he going for 60 a night. So go ahead.
60 chicken wings, man.
60 chicken wings.
Because I could go for 60 chicken wings.
Cameron just had a hot take. He said that Malik Willis falls to the 4th or 5th round.
Yeah, to Miami.
I don't know about all that.
Whoever it is.
If Malik Willis fell to the 5th round, Miami'd be crazy not to draft him.
Do you think he drafts to
any team would be crazy not to draft him?
Do you think he doesn't get drafted tonight, TD? Point blank.
Yeah, he's getting drafted tonight.
I think he is too.
I say he doesn't.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying is that Matt Corral, Steve or Sam Howell, and Desmond Ritter all get drafted before he does. Then, and Malik Willis was considered first. It would be one of the biggest drops of all time.
Considered by outside of Bong hit Tunsil, yeah, but I don't see it happening, man. He like I said,
Tunsil still only went NFL. 13 spots. I don't know anybody who's dropped 5 rounds, 4 rounds, 3 rounds.
Yeah, but like I said, he didn't face the competition the other 3 cornerbacks. He didn't play in a system like the other 3 quarterbacks did. He basically was, 6-7 play down the field and chuck it type of quarterback who depended on his legs. Like, I like the kid. I think he's talented, but I don't think he's 2nd or 3rd round talent.
Did you see the press conference with whatchamacallit? Jerry Jones. So Jerry was in the press conference and they were talking about his pick, and he holds up this sheet of paper, which is their help me out, Cam. It's their cheat sheet, I guess. Mm-hmm. And it has all the draft people that they're like, their top 20 people that they like, even including today's picks and tomorrow's picks. And Stephen Jones was like, put that down.
Wow. No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, man. Like, did
they zoom in?
Someone
someone has screenshot
I'm
that.
sure it's all over Twitter.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't see that.
But I did see where Jerry was talking about his past draft classes and how, a reporter asked him how they come to a consensus pick. And of course, Jerry's like, well, I have final say. But he does see to other guys if it's strong enough, their opinion's strong enough. And they were identifying past draft picks, and Steve threw his guys under the bus a little bit, talking, I can't remember his name, but a draft pick bust. He's like, oh yeah, that was his pick, not my pick.
Yeah,
it was funny. It was a good interview.
It was Taco Charlton. And,
that's right, Taco.
And Micah Parsons. And so Jerry said Micah was my pick.
Yeah.
And Taco was Steven's pick.
Correct.
And then Taco went on social media just slamming everybody in the Cowboys organization.
Taco was no longer in the league.
No,
when
he
did
was
this happen?
yesterday on social media or the day before?
Yeah, last night.
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You all up on YouTube for
I
10
had no idea
hours?
that went down. So
Yeah.
I like that from Jerry though.
Oh, he's taking
Just
ownership.
to,
He's the owner.
Yeah,
man.
like
I
who
love it.
who chose what. I love to know in our building who choose what for a fact.
That would make me real happy on to know that. Hey, yesterday Tyrann Mathieu, Honey Badger, tweeted this out. Said time for Brian Hartline to get a head coaching job somewhere. His player development for men and talent is impressive. All good players, but mostly good dudes too. Brian Hartline, our former wide receiver, has been the wide receiver
from our undefeated, our reverse dyslexic undefeated season.
Will forever get a free beer down in Miami. As far as I'm concerned, he should never have to pay for a drink in Miami.
Was he a first-round draft pick for the Dolphins?
Brian Hartline was, I don't know. Let me look it up.
Because he came from Ohio State, right?
Yep. Brian Hartline was fourth round.
2009.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he's the wide receiver coach.
Teddy, that was the year Teddy
at Ohio State now, and the Ohio State wide receivers
that
had a
the
good
year,
night last night.
Cam Cameron took Ted Ginn Jr. and his family.
Oh, God Soldier.
That same
Well, let me finish this Brian Hartline, and then I'll answer God Soldier's question. I think it's a really interesting thing, Brian Hartline bringing up. Do you think Brian Hartline will be a head coach somewhere in the next year or two? Cameron?
Head coach?
Yeah, because it's not far off to see these former players that like he's had a good draft. I could see Brian Hartline being a head coach now.
Where is he coaching now?
He's the wide receiver coach at Ohio State.
Yeah, just had I could see him being an OC, but to say head coach.
When Honey Badger makes a statement like that, he's not far off. These former NFL players are getting head coaching opportunities.
Honey Badger
skipping
get signed
over
first. Because it's actually not happening like that on that level. We talk about 1, 2, maybe 3 people, and we think that that's what's happening now. Who's coaching a position group that isn't really being seen as at least part of as a coordinator that's really getting head coaching jobs?
Ooh. I mean, I don't know, but I know like you're starting to see head coaches go. Like Ed Reed, I think will be a head coach soon.
What is he doing right now?
Where's Ed Reed at, Cameron? I don't think he's coaching.
He wants to
be a head coach. He wants to be a head coach.
You could want to be a head coach, but you're gonna go through at least that. You're gonna probably be a core. You gotta get.
No, you don't.
Deion
Sanders right now could easily get any head coaching position.
Not easily, bro. No way.
Yes, he could. 100%.
No way. And here's why: Deion needs to be the man in the show, and there's no NFL owner is going to allow that to happen.
No, I didn't say the NFL. I said D1. I'm not
not
saying it
only
has to be the
not
NFL.
only that, Steven, at least he's a head coach at a college. He's got the experience,
but he didn't have it before.
No, but that's why he had to go. He went to college.
Well, and he went to Jackson State. He didn't go to Florida State or a D1 program.
That too.
Like, dude, I'm telling you right now, Brian Hartline.
Yeah, Deion probably could get a job as a coach, but and to Cameron's point, it's not likely. But his resume could let him get a job. But these guys in the NFL just coaching a position group, they're not going straight up to be no head coach, bro. You know, I mean, you got to show me where it's happening.
Well, it has happened. I can point to special
I'm trying
teams
to figure out where.
John Harbaugh in Baltimore was a special teams coordinator.
See, which again, coordinator. That is the you want to have the coordinator title or at least act in that role without the title before you become a head coach.
Steven, I got a question for you. How does Ed Reed or Brian Hartline leap over Darren Rizzi for a head coaching consideration?
Oh, I hate you so much for that question. Y'all, you know how I feel about those special team coordinators and Rizzi most of all. Rizzi should be a head coach somewhere. He should be. He's a leader of men.
Then
he would be a good head coach too. All right, hey, Perform, who some people on this squad have had beef with before, some sort of beef.
Cameron, you shouldn't do that.
Cameron, you shouldn't do that.
Me,
This is not
I was with Chris
that.
last night.
Were you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, real talk. So I think this is really cool. Oh, I think this is a very interesting tweet that he just
Who is
tweeted
Chris?
out. That is his name.
I thought it was Nick.
It was Nick. Nick.
So where's
Chris?
Chris?
Chris is the other owner.
See, I promise y'all, I don't know these people. So people thought that
But
I
anyway.
was being personal. I don't know them. So
Here, let me go to where's that? Perform. I had it on another.
So there's two owners of Perform.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Hold on.
And to be transparent, it was the parents of one of his. Oh shit! You hear that?
Boy, are you getting invaded? You're getting invaded over there.
That thing is strafing us.
Cameron in Ukraine, man.
He said. He says, "I can't believe I'm seeing Eagles fans say that AJ and Devontae are a better wide receiver duo than Tyreek and Waddle." What do y'all think about that?
He's got an opinion. He's entitled to it.
No, he's not saying that. He's saying that Eagles fans are saying that. But I'm interested to get y'all's take.
Eagles fans are going to say that. They want to love their guys.
TD, you being real quiet right now. Do you think that Eagles have a better duo than the Dolphins?
There could be an argument made for that.
TD, answer the question.
Let me ask you this.
Are you Jay?
I am not.
Is there a big difference between Smith or Waddle?
I think Waddle's better.
Is there a big difference between Smith and Waddle?
Cameron, you answer first. I'm scared to answer because I know where TD's
Statistically
going.
there is, because Waddle had the more catches and more yardage, but they both basically did the same things for their teams, and that was come in and be wide receiver ones on their respective teams in their rookie year. So to me, it's Waddle gets the edge only statistically.
What do you think about AJ Brown?
I think AJ is top 15, top 20 wide receiver in the NFL.
That's it?
I don't
Yeah,
think he's better than Tyreek.
I don't think he's anywhere near Tyreek, actually. TD, where are you going with this?
AJ Brown is a dynamic receiver that is at least top 7 in the NFL. AJ Brown, the issue with him is I don't think he's played a full season of football yet. Let me pull up his stuff. AJ Brown is that dude. I don't think he will have a season in his career under 1,000 yards. He's a big body. Even if he doesn't need separation because of his frame, he has great hands. And he actually is a big, fast guy, too. AJ Brown is beyond freaking dynamic, man. The comparison with Tyreek, they're two different players. AJ Brown is more of a intermediate deep threat. Tyreek, short and intermediate that could take it long. And, of course, Tyreek is a deep threat, but he ain't going deep like that at the level of AJ Brown, man. I just pulled it up. Look at this. AJ Brown, rookie year, he only played 11 games, but he had 1,051 yards.
K Flexen said Waddle better than Smith, Reeks better than AJ. I don't see an argument here.
No. See, system. It's how you're going to be running your system. See, we could talk about just man-to-man who's a better receiver, but in specific systems, that's a different story. I think that AJ Brown and I think the boys with the Eagles in the pro style system can be more
explosive,
productive from a numbers standpoint than Waddle and Tyreek, each sharing dink and dunk passes. So we have the better players, man to man, but in the systems that both teams deploy, I'm sorry. I think they could be more productive.
AJ Brown does his job, but I wouldn't say he's a game changer like Tyreek. Hill is a threat anywhere. Brown is a possession receiver.
See, and for the reasons TD just outlined, I think conversely, right? I think based on McDaniels or the potential of McDaniels' offense and the tools that Hill brings, the type of offense that McDaniels is going to put in place, and the route tree Hill and Waddle and that are going to run versus what Jalen Hurts is going to run up there in Philadelphia. I think the potential for a more dynamic offense lies in Miami, but it's not far off.
So my question to you is, here's a follow-up question. Who has the more productive?
And honestly, like you can throw all past stats out, right?
Who's going to have the more productive offense this year? Is it going to be the Eagles or the Dolphins?
Say it again.
Offense with the running game or everything, or we just talk about passing?
Yep. I'm talking about offense. Who's going to have the more productive offense?
Should be the Dolphins. Should be the Dolphins.
Cameron, Eagles or Dolphins? Who has the more productive offense this year?
It should be the Dolphins only because they have a superior backfield, and I think the Eagles don't have anybody worth giving the ball to. Boston Scott, Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders. Are they better than Mostert and Edmonds? I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold up. Marquise Brown went on Brandon Marshall's I Am Athlete podcast and addressed the trade.
Hollywood Brown?
Yeah.
Overrated.
I mean, look, it'll definitely be interesting to see here. All right, let me ask you another question.
Look at this, man. This is what I be talking about. See, they're different players. So, like Tyreek Hill, right?
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill,
much different players.
In his career, he averaged 13 yards of reception. AJ Brown, in his career, 16.2 yards of reception. His high is 20 yards of reception. Even that was his rookie year. They're two different receivers, where AJ Brown is more the deep intermediate threat. Tyreek Hill is the short and intermediate threat.
Manza Chill says
AJ Brown is
top 8 wide receivers: Cooper Kupp, Adams, Debo, Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, AJ Brown, and then Jamar Chase.
I disagree.
I can't put Debo.
No. I don't disagree. I'm sorry. I thought he had Waddle in there. My bad. I don't disagree with that.
Where do you put Waddle then?
Waddle, as of right now, will probably somewhere around 11, 12 or something in my book.
I have him at top 15.
11 to 15.
Yeah, I have Waddle at top 15. But I do think that Waddle
and Waddle could be in the top 8, in my opinion, never mind.
No, go ahead and say it. Go ahead and say it, TD. I know where you're going. Go ahead and say it.
With another year of production like he had last year.
No, TD's about to say with another quarterback.
No, screw the years he's been in the league. But, okay, how could Waddle have made his game better? What did Waddle need to do to improve?
What did Waddle need to do to improve?
Tell me,
nothing.
What does Waddle need to do this year to improve his game?
He needs to do nothing. He's fine. He needs to be in a better offense that suits him better.
This offense that we had last year should have gave this man 1,400 yards at least.
So explain. So what are you trying to say? You think there's stuff that Waddle needs to work on? Like what?
Give him a situation where he ain't got to be deep. Like throw it. Oh, they didn't. Whatever. Give him a situation where the ball is right in stride so he can keep going at a higher percentage, because sometimes it is, but a lot of times it ain't. Give him throws where he ain't got to jump off his feet to catch it, reach low to catch it, reach behind him to catch it.
That's not on him. That's on the quarterback.
I'm just saying, I don't care who it's on because I ain't got time to argue nothing. I'm just saying in general. Waddle can be in the top 8 with the right situation.
Say the word. Don't be scared to say the word, TD.
Coaching. How about that?
No, that's not the word. That's not the word you want to say.
I don't want to say a word.
You do. You do
Maybe
want
a
to
name, but not a word. But no, I'm just saying though. Yeah, this Miami Dolphins have the edge on the receiver combination, like we were talking about before. But I'm just saying, in the system that the Eagles run is, let me put it like this: those 2 receivers in this system would be trash.
Ooh, all right. I'm going to change the subject real quick because I thought this is very interesting. DolphinsTalk.com. Shout out to Dolphins Talk. Just posted this on their Twitter. Night 1 draft grades. Best 5. Eagles A+, Jets A, Giants A, Ravens A, New Orleans B+. The losers of the night: Patriots F, Washington D, Atlanta D, Jacksonville C, Detroit C. What do you guys think of this?
First of all, why do you have Ravens A? Because they just got what? Who is Lamar going to be throwing the ball to?
I think Linderbaum, because we were so high on him, any team that got him, we probably moved up. And because they already had it, they got another pick too.
What is the Ravens' issue?
When you draft a center, you don't get an A. I don't care who you are.
What was the Ravens' issue?
I mean, the wide receivers always been their issue.
Always. And then you went and got rid of another one. I understand the move with the corner. I mean, I like that, if I'm not mistaken, because I've been mixing teams up. They did get a corner last night, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that move.
Double check, but I'm pretty sure.
If they did, I believe they did. I like the move because you're keeping the defense intact.
Yeah, they got a safety. They got Kyle Hamilton.
See, yeah, I know they went in the secondary. Yeah, you're right. It was a safety. It's coming back.
Who, by the way, was projected top 10 as well, and he was there at 12.
But at the same token, where's the wide receivers? Like, you got the rookie from last year and a tight end, but outside of that, that wasn't even enough with Hollywood.
Hermdog1 says Lions C, they should be A, and the Ravens a C.
No, I disagree, man. I'm so down on that Lions pick. They could have.
I thought the Lions had the worst draft of all.
I'm sorry, I'm down on the Jacksonville pick. My bad, because I think Jacksonville.
They should have had Hayden Hutchinson.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't believe they didn't go after Aiden Hutchinson.
And why do you give the Patriots an F? Here's what I don't understand. You're picking late in the first round, right? What did you want the Patriots to get?
They got it, but the reason they got an F is because they got a player that wasn't projected till the 3rd or 4th round.
See, that's once again. This is what kills me. That's like if you went and got Russell Wilson and late in the first round and he balled out, but you gave me a draft grade of an F. That's why it becomes irrelevant.
So, all right, so you don't agree with the Ravens, you don't agree with the Patriots, and you don't agree with Detroit. Is that right, TD?
Detroit.
Or Jacksonville?
Yeah, I didn't like the Jacksonville Jaguars draft. I felt like they did such a great job in free agency, but they didn't get the bang for their buck in
all right, so
the
you
draft.
do agree with Jacksonville.
And I would even go as far as saying they might have been better served trading out of their pick.
I agree.
To get 2 nice pieces, because you couldn't lose in this draft for what you got. Yeah, you got a stud, but you couldn't lose in this draft.
You know. Go ahead.
Listen, it was a typical Jacksonville pick, right? They gambled on the ceiling and didn't take the sure pick, and they've had a history of gambling and failing with their first round picks. And I feel Aiden Hutchinson was the safer pick and would have solidified the defensive line
for 10 years, for the next 10 years.
And you're basing, your first round pick off 1 year of production. I don't get that pick.
It'll go down as one of the. I think it'll go down as a bust when it's all said and done.
I'm with TD. They could have traded down and still gotten that same player.
They could have 100%.
I'm just saying you could have added 2 good players.
Exactly.
And been an 8.
Well, so my theory on that is they called teams and nobody was willing to give them what they wanted for that first pick.
Yeah,
there wasn't a great player available there. Now, somebody's name I don't see on here as a winner. I'm gonna put Cameron on mute for a second. Somebody's name I don't see on here as a winner. Tennessee. I think Tennessee was a winner last night.
Why? Well, I mean, they win in their own special way, but not enough to make a top 5 winner list because you saved money and stayed potentially the same. That's all you did.
Just to put it into context, the rest of the tweet says teams without a pick can't get a grade. I know grades are silly, but it's more initial thoughts than anything. So, look, I don't want to beat them up. I think there's some really. I agree. Eagles were great. I thought the Jets. I really thought the Jets had the best out of all of them. I think the Jets got an A+. I thought the Giants had a good night.
Listen, I don't feel like nobody did better than the Eagles last night, and that's why I agree with this one.
All right,
everything.
All right, TD, Eagles talk.
I'm just saying, nobody did better than the Eagles last night.
And listen,
even the Jets.
The Titans drafted AJ Brown's 100% comp and saved $100 million.
Yeah,
how is that not an A?
But Philly got Jordan Davis,
who I love, who I think it will be the most dynamic player in the draft.
Who is that?
Philly.
Philly
had one pick. You're telling me Philly had one pick and won the draft?
No, they had 2 picks. They gave one away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. They got
for a guarantee.
They got AJ Brown.
For a guarantee.
All right, yeah. So I'll give you Philly A or A+. But let me ask you: you would rather have Philly's draft over the Jets draft? I would rather have the Jets draft. I thought the Jets got better, more dynamic players.
Well, you got to also evaluate where each team is. Philly was right on the cusp, like outside looking in, and this definitely puts them in. These moves put them in, and then you invest in your young quarterback like we did and say, we'll give you the weapons you need to be successful. And A.J. Brown is such a safety net, man. I'm telling you, Hurts might have a breakout season. You talk about Tua. Hurts may have such a breakout season, and he's more seasoned now, and he's been in that system.
And he's got playoff experience.
He does.
Man, oh my gosh. When I come to think of it, Hurts might have a much better season than Tua. Only because of the system. We will be running the ball more than them. Hurts will be throwing the ball more. His statistics probably will be better than Tua come the end of the season. And not that being a knock saying, oh, he's better or nothing. But his statistical numbers will probably be better.
And Philly added a known commodity in AJ Brown. None of these draft picks are known commodity in the NFL.
And then on top of it, AJ Brown is the type of guy, if you sell it a little too high, no problem. You sell it in front, burst of speed, no problem. You sell it behind, he got it. AJ Brown is that dude. And then you're giving a big, bold look of a guy coming across the middle. This is a good look for him.
TD, you said you're starting to make those Alabama fans mad. That 40%, they get at you, son.
Hey, you're right. I test gonna be like I told you. Well, we'll see.
Hey, so Cody Benjamin, who's a NFL staff writer for CBS Sports, posted this last night. The Dolphins traded 5 picks, including a first and a second and 2 fourths, to pay Tyreek, who's 28 years old, an average of $30 million. The Eagles traded 2 picks, a first and a third, to pay A.J. Brown, 24, an average of $25 million. What do y'all think about this tweet? What do y'all think about this?
It's gut wrenching. I never compared it and sat it down that way. It makes us look like fools.
Really?
Look at what he's trying to tell you. He didn't put it there for no reason. Think about the message in that. You paid a 28-year-old $30 million and gave up more. And AJ Brown is how old?
AJ Brown's 24 years old.
Didn't think of it that way. I forgot. I don't know why I'm sitting here thinking AJ's at least 27. You're right. AJ Brown being 24, 25 million, and the player that he is.
Cameron, what are your thoughts about this?
Listen, when you put it in that context, it makes it look incriminating to Greer. But McDaniel identified and Greer identified their guy, and they shot their shot and went and got Tyreek. Honestly, I think it's, AJ's a nice player. Tyreek's a nice player. They both can immediately step into the respective teams and are the alpha wide receiver. And I think you pay whatever needs to be paid, regardless of age or stats. Those guys are going to perform for the respective teams. And when it's all said and done at the end of the year, TD, we're not going to be talking about, who got the better deal, because I think it upgrades both the teams dramatically.
Well, I think there's something to be said about potentially catching a guy on his downturn. We don't know, of course, but do we think Tyreek's going to have a 15-year career doing what he's always done?
No, but you'd be happy with the next 3 to 5 years, and if they get to a deep playoff run, you'd be happy with that.
But it's still all hopeful. You hope that you can get that. It's always going to be hope, but at what point do you use statistics to weigh out those type of options? You see what I mean? Like, the guy's 28 years old. Don't get me wrong. I still feel like he's still got at least another great 2 years in him.
At least, yeah. And listen, and I think it was Vaughn over here. Somebody made a good point, man. We'll wait to see how it all plays out on the field and how their respective systems put them in positions to win.
And somebody said, comparing AJ to Tyreek, get out of here. Well, we're not comparing AJ to Tyreek. What's happening is we need to stop acting like nobody can be, like we got to dismiss any equivalence. So you mean to tell me if the Dolphins signed Tyreek for $50 million, but they could have got AJ Brown for $5 million, you're still gonna get Tyreek?
But it
was just not to you, Cameron. I'm talking about somebody who was in the comment section. It's to compare the fact that this is what the guy in the article is basically trying to say, even though it's still not that far off, but there is a level of comparison. I don't care if you got Tom Brady for $150 million a year, and I could go get freaking, a middle of the road Tannehill for $20 million a year. You're gonna get Tannehill. You see what I'm saying? So let's not make it seem like there's no comparison to be had either. When you talk about salaries and age, it makes a difference.
All right, I'm going to hit the reset button. We're going to stay on for about another 20 minutes, and then we're going to get off at noon. I do want to remind you all, this is Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. I got TD Finch Talk, Cameron 954. Cameron's live from Dirty Sportswear this morning. TD's live from his home studios down in Florida.
No, I ain't home. It's a green screen.
It's a green screen. Got you. Okay. We don't want to let people know that you're there. I got you. Guys, all right, last 20 minutes of the show. Here's what I'm going to do. That $10 per entry is going to $5 per entry. If you donate in increments of $5 from here on out for the rest of the show, you will be entered to win the Patrick Surtain jersey that we are going to give away after the show today. I'm going to get back on live in another hour or so once I get all of the things in, and we're going to give away live. If you donate $50, I will triple your entries at $5 per entry. Okay? So that's a lot of entries there, isn't it, Cameron? So if you donate Cash App, it's $MSM Podcast Network. You donate PayPal, MSM Podcast Network. If you donate on Cash App or PayPal, whatever your entries are, I double it. But if you donate $50, whether it's YouTube, whatever, I'll triple it. And yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's get them in. Can we get 10 more people to donate to the channel to get the Patrick Surtain giveaway in, courtesy of ZSM Sports?
Steven.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, can I ask a question, man?
Yeah.
Because there's a big confusion, okay? Because with this whole wide receiver situation and saying there's levels to this. Can you tell me a receiver in the NFL worth $30 million?
I mean, there's a few that come to my mind.
This is where we've gotten. To me, there is no receiver worth $30 million in the NFL. There ain't no receiver in the NFL worth $25 million. But they get it. It don't mean you're worth it. When you talk about, I mean, think about it. Tyreek Hill's prime, his best seasons earned him a deal with the Chiefs that will give him an annual of about $15 million in his prime. And we went and paid him double, and he could be coming out of his prime. I don't see Tyreek putting up 1,600-yard seasons anymore. He might be a perennial 1,200-yard receiver, but he ain't putting up 1,600-yard seasons anymore. And we pay him double out of the best production that he probably will ever put up. And so this notion that is levels to this, and he's worth 30 million. AJ isn't. AJ ain't even worth 25. Tyreek ain't worth 30. And I've always said this when I started my channel, desperate teams pay like that. Desperate teams set the market. Who set the receiver market, ladies and gentlemen?
The Dolphins.
Thank you. It wasn't Christian Kirk. It was the Miami Dolphins.
No, it was Devontae Adams getting 28.5, and then Tyreek had to one-up him.
Then we reset it, though. We were the last ones to set it. Anybody got over Tyreek yet?
Nope.
We reset the market. And it's always the desperate team that resets the market. And they do it at a time when a player ain't even going to give you the best production they gave in their career. Tyreek is not going to give you 1,600-yard seasons.
I don't care about any of that for this reason. If
it's
they
production.
Deep in the playoffs, if this team
TD, would you rather him go to the Jets? G Money Uptown ask.
Desperate team. Trust me when I tell you. The reason why we're in this window now is only because of Tua's rookie contract. We are matter of fact, the only reason we're in this window now is because the actual 14 rookie contracts that are vital pieces on this team right now. We got 14 players under contract that are excuse me, let me rephrase that because Gesicki got the franchise tag. So that's no longer there. So let's go down to 13. Did anybody else on Young Money that just got their money? We probably got 12 by this time.
Baker.
Getting 12. Yeah, so 12 players on this team that are considered starters making peanuts. That is rare.
Last year.
That's the only reason we're able to do that.
TD, the market's set by whoever is willing to pay for it.
Thank you. And usually that is the desperate.
I don't fault any player for getting his bag. Right?
No. This ain't about the player. This is about the theory in the NFL and the way that it's set up. It's always the desperate team that sets the market. Every time.
And you said it yourself, it fits the window the Dolphins are in with Tua's contract, all the other contracts, and the timeline moving forward. It's make it or break it this year.
Paying a receiver $30 million ain't never setting the market to a window that works. It's overpaying.
Who cares? They overpaid for Tyreek. If they overpay for Tyreek, who cares if they get deep in the playoffs and this team becomes, AFC championship contender.
And you know what? That's the same thing we said about Ndamukong Suh. It's the same thing we said about Ndamukong Suh. Everybody knew we had overpaid this man. Everybody knew it. And then we had dead Cap because then we had dead Cap for 4 years after he was already gone. This is the same thing. This always happens to the Miami Dolphins because we get so thrilled with the name and not realize this man already has 6 seasons of prime play, and NFL historical data will tell you it's finna start going downhill. And even if he gives you 2 more years of prime play, it ain't going to be no 2019, 2020 play. It ain't going to be 15, 1,600 yards. 17, 18 touchdowns.
But I say, who cares as long as they get it, the AFC.
But we doubled the salary.
Who cares
of what he was making on a new contract at that time? It really doesn't make sense. But we go with it because we Dolphin fans. Let's go win. We hope we gonna win. But at the same token, I'm gonna say this: I hope we go to the playoffs. I believe we will. But if we sit here next January on the outside looking in.
Yeah, I say blow it all up every time.
But there's a bigger issue. We get caught with this every time because we don't see the writing on the wall because we just get excited about the names and the potential because all we see is him in his prime and him doing that in Miami. Did Ndamukong Suh do what he did from Detroit in Miami?
No.
Because why? He put in all them years in Detroit, gave prime play. And from that point on, it was going to be downhill. It was still great productivity, but it was still not worth what you gave him the money for.
Speaking
this
of
is what we do.
Ndamukong Suh, I would love for him to come back to Miami this year.
This is what we do as Dolphin fans. If we're sitting on the outside looking in, I don't want to hear a soul say, well, he didn't play like that with the Chiefs. He didn't play like –
No. I agree. Who cares? Like if they shot Greer shoot his shot, he shot his shot, whatever you want to say. They're going for the playoffs this year for all of the timeline situations that we already identified. And if it works out, God bless him, then he's a genius. If not, then we're going to be talking next January about blowing this thing up.
No. See, we do it over, and this is what you call insanity. The term "who cares." Let me show you why you should care. Because if this goes the way that I just said that it could, right? I'm not saying it will, but if it goes the way I said it could, we'll say, who cares? We went for it. And then we'll have another player who done gave 6 to 8 years of their prime on another team. We overpay them and bring them in, and we'll say the same thing again. Who cares? We're going for it. At what point do you recognize that you're getting like the Chiefs? You think the Chiefs just did this for nothing? You think they just did it for nothing? You truly think they couldn't afford him? It's just not true. They figure we got 6 years out of this guy. We ain't going to get a package like this going forward.
Yeah, but they don't have a quarterback on a rookie contract either.
They got 6 years out of him and said, this is the time. Let's be smarter than being dumb about this. Why we're not going to pay him $30 million?
That's going to play from the next 10 years. They got to pay this quarterback for the next 10 years. They can't.
No, bro. They still no. First of all, Patrick Mahomes signed his little 10-year, $500 million contract and has already restructured it twice. That's not even an issue for them. They Tyreek Hill. The problem is Tyreek Hill wanted $30 million, and the Chiefs weren't dumb enough to do that. I already told y'all that was a dumb contract, but I'm happy we got him. He's not worth $30 million. That's a desperate team overpaying. Anybody would. Matter of fact, before we got Tyreek, anybody would have said that. Before Christian Kirk got his money, nobody would have been like, "Yeah, go get Tyreek for $30 million." Now they'll say they would have.
TD, last time we made the playoffs in 2016, right?
Okay.
Go look at that roster and tell me, since then, have we built a roster that's playoff worthy? And I'll say no.
No.
This roster is much more playoff worthy than it was in 2016. To your point that they surrounded Ndamukong Suh with talent that's less playoff ready than what we have on the roster this year.
Listen,
does that make sense?
What I'm saying to you, this is just about the Tyreek situation. All I'm saying to y'all have to evaluate Tyreek Hill as a whole. He is a game changer. But let me ask y'all this question. Did Patrick Mahomes not have any factor in Tyreek Hill? Did he not have any factor in Tyreek Hill? Y'all truly want to solely give all the success of Tyreek Hill to Tyreek Hill, huh? All those extended plays, those busted plays that he threw, Mahomes holding the ball for 10 seconds, he flicked down the field for 50 yards every game. Y'all don't want to, there is a factor to his success as well. It's not just one of them. Both of those guys helped each other's numbers. And what I am saying to you is when you don't have a guy as dynamic as Patrick Mahomes to extend plays like that, he's not worth $30 million at all. At all. I don't even know why we think we're going to be able to use Tyreek the way the Chiefs did.
All right, so two things. Number one, TD, you were happy when the Dolphins signed Tyreek Hill. You were excited.
Of course, we got him. At the end of the day, but I know it wasn't worth it. The money's not worth it, bro. At the end of the day, you can sell yourself all you want.
To me, the money doesn't matter.
Why?
It does not matter because you can manipulate the cap any way you want.
See, that notion too is something that's been thrown around here. That's just people who don't understand the salary cap. You can manipulate the cap, but you can only do it for so long. At some point, you're going to bleed. Why do you think those guys over there in Dallas said, you know what, we can't keep them. Let's start shifting people out, not make any trades, not do anything. Let's go get an offensive lineman in the draft and be normal this year. Well, the Saints are going to be dealing with the same crap. At some point, you can kick the can down the road, but only so far. At some point, it catches up to you. It is a salary cap. All you're doing is manipulating what year the money is getting paid out on. And at some point, it catches up with you if you're trying to continue to sustain it, especially when you're not winning.
TD wants the Dolphins to shop at Family Dollar for free agents.
Well, let me ask you this. Let's go top to bottom of the roster. Do you think the Dallas Cowboys last year had a better roster than the Miami Dolphins do this year on offense?
Yeah.
On offense.
The Cowboys had a better offense.
On paper?
Either way.
I'm going to say we have the better offense on paper this year.
Why?
Because our backfield is more stronger than just what's his face?
Our backfield is stronger than theirs.
Go ahead.
The backfield they had last year with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, our backfield is stronger than that.
Ezekiel Elliott is better overall, but we have more depth.
Tony Pollard, I mean, when you're talking, see, that's the difference. They run bell cow over there. So it doesn't matter the depth you have. Their depth is a guy named Tony Pollard who's better than, in my opinion, all of these running backs. They're backup.
Running back is.
I've been begging for Tony Pollard.
Hey, listen, Dallas lost 2 starting offensive linemen, man.
Yeah, they lost it now, but last year's O-line, whose O-line is better? This one we have now or theirs last year?
Oh, no, theirs last year, for sure.
Their O-line, their running game, did they not have the receiver weapons? That was a receiving core. Did they not have a top quarterback? Top 8 at least?
Yeah, Dak is 100%.
Lucky for us, we got a better defense, but that's all I'm saying. They still, look at their success level. They've been having amazing rosters, but when you overpay people, because you can't fill out the little things like us, the right tackle and the middle linebacker, when you pay people, see, you could have fit that in. Tyreek's money doesn't allow you to get that middle linebacker. I would have, and I also said Teron Armstead. I would have got me a right tackle and a left tackle that was good for the price for that price. So that's all I'm saying, man. At the end of the day, we signed a few deals, Tyreek's in specific, that is overpriced. And that takes away what you could have did on the rest of this roster, potentially. It may work out to be a success. We hope so. But if it doesn't, people will still have that who cares mentality, not looking at the history of the Miami Dolphins. We do stuff like this all the time, and it always backfires on us. And I'm just saying, hopefully it doesn't this time, but every single time we do stuff like this, it backfires. But I got to roll, man. I was supposed to be gone at 11:30, actually.
Well, two things. Number one, you got to do final thought of the day.
Final thought is we're going to the Super Bowl no matter what.
You just were negative for the last 25 minutes.
Well, Steven, I don't be negative. What I do is offer people every scenario. Everybody wants to hear, yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to do this. But we got to also talk about this could be a potential. This might actually hurt us. This could be something to look out for. I just like giving it all. I have my moments where I talk about all the things we're going to do well and how we're going to win a Super Bowl, but I also got to talk about the things that could come back to bite us. So when we're all watching these games and going through the season, we're not shocked. We're not shocked by anything. And that's the type of content that I provide, and that's why it always comes across negative and positive, and I'm so wishy-washy. I'm not. I'm just giving you every angle, and it ain't always going to be pretty.
TD real talk. That's what
TD Eagles talk. Peace. I'm out.
TD, I love you, brother.
TD Celtics talk.
Hey,
oh my God.
Oh, you just cut him off.
I did. He cut himself off.
But to say what to converse what TD was talking about, man.
I love TD.
We all do. And he's passionate about his views, and he comes, from an educated standpoint, and we all can sit up here and utilize whatever information is out there on the internet to support our own views. But I will tell you this. They didn't start with Tyreek. They finished with Tyreek, right? Meaning Greer. Yep. They signed Cedric Wilson. They went and got Connor Williams. They signed Teron Armstead. They signed very sneakily two dynamic running backs in Edmonds and Mostert.
Yep.
On the offense, right?
Yep.
Then they went out and got Tyreek. So they built up the Tyreek. They added Tyreek as kind of like that topping on the cake. And put in that mix the fact that you drafted Waddle last year, who's, had a spectacular season, is going to grow. They drafted over the past 3 years offensive linemen who they've gambled on and they've spent draft capital on, and now they have an offensive line coach that's going to coach them up correctly. And you're seeing and hearing a lot of good things from OTAs from these guys. Like, they have a plan and they're sticking with it. Tyreek was available and they shot their shot. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, look,
I don't care how much they spent, because they put together a team that's light years better than what we've experienced as fans since God knows when.
I said for a long time, I do not care what they spend. As long as they put out something on the field, I'm good with. Aldo with the $10 donation says you're also missing the fact that Hill can also help with Waddle to help get him over even to a higher level.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to wrap up here. I'm going to have Cameron do his final thought of the day here in a second, but I want to remind y'all, after the show, stand by, because we are going to do the Patrick Surtain giveaway jersey. If you want to get in last minute, any $5 donation, $5 donations. Matter of fact, let's raise a quick $100 right now, right? Everybody donate $5, get into the Patrick Surtain giveaway that I'm going to do after the show today. I'm going to come back on live here in about an hour to give away this weekly giveaway courtesy of ZSM Sports. If you donate $5, increments of 5, you get in. If you donate on Cash App or PayPal, I double your entries. If you donate $50, I will triple your entry. Okay? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. That's 10 times 3. That's 30. That's 30 entries on a $50 donation. Let's go.
Yeah, I will say Zach's got some pretty cool people he's got coming through here in the next month or so, including Christian Wilkins.
And Sam Madison.
He's got some cool things going on. Speaking of stars, man, Mo Vaughn just walked through Dirty Sports here. Pretty cool.
Mo Vaughn?
Yeah.
The baseball player?
Yeah, he runs a baseball training facility here in
Boca Raton. The former Boston Red Sox, Mo Vaughn?
Yeah, standing right over there.
Tell him to come on. I'll get him on real quick.
You don't want to.
I want Mo
He's like-
Vaughn. No, he said no.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love Mo Vaughn. Mo Vaughn is the man, dude.
I'll
Mo
get
Vaughn
him on
went-
here one of these times, though.
Mo's a good guy. Tell
Hey, and
Mo,
I
come on.
speaking of giveaways, I see Miss Fins in the chat. Miss Fins, hit me up on DM, Facebook DM, because I'll slide past your house this weekend and give away that give you in person at what you won last year, like the jersey and the hat, right? Or the sweatshirt and the hat.
No, it was the East 32. She won the East 32
That's
shirt
right.
and hat.
The shirt and the hat.
Yep. And then you got those 3 sweatshirts that you got to mail out.
Yep.
Okay. Donate $5. It gets you into the Patrick Surtain giveaway. Let's do that. Come on now. Donate. All right. Final thought of the day, Cameron.
I love having chopping it up with TD because he brings different perspective, and it's good to hear different perspective all the time. Pertaining to the Dolphins and what I think is going to happen today, if someone's falling and he's high on their board, I can see them jumping up to get somebody that they identified. But like I said all along, if they stand pat, it's BPA and filling a need. I think that kid from Miami, Ohio is high on. I love him, and I would love to see the Dolphins take him. I don't see Malik Willis getting selected ahead of Ritter Corral or the other kid from North Carolina. He'll be picked tomorrow, but I could be wrong. Outside of that, I'd love to see what the Marlins. I'd love to see the Marlins keep this momentum going out west. They play Seattle tonight, 7:00.
Julio Rodriguez,
who hasn't gotten off to a good start, but
no, he hasn't. But I'm excited to watch him.
Dynamic talent. And then Monday we got the Heat, so let's roll. Let's have a great weekend. Spread kindness, everybody. Thank you.
What
Steve.
What are you going to do for spread kindness this weekend? How are you going to spread kindness this weekend, Cameron?
Since it's my birthday, I think people are going to be spreading kindness to me.
That's right, man. Happy birthday, dude. So a couple things you should know.
So I'm going to spread kindness this way. And everybody hit me up on Facebook. We had a really close friend that she's got no insurance, suffered a stroke, and I'm going to put up a little donation tab on my Facebook page for my birthday. So hit me up, and that's how I'm going to spread kindness.
So you got all right. I'll tell you what. It is 12:02. Any donation that I get that's $50 or more, 50% of all the proceeds, I'll send to you, bro.
Thank you, man. She's a local softball player, bartender, no insurance, got 3 kids, and suffered a stroke, and she's in a coma right now.
All right, so 50% of all donations for the rest of this show, because I'm going to stay on for another 10 or 15 minutes. 50% of all donations I will send to Cameron for this young lady.
And I'll put the link up on my Facebook page and Instagram this weekend.
Yeah. So you can follow Cameron at Cameron954. At Cameron954. So go follow him.
That's how I'm going to spread kindness. And thanks for the shout out, Cat for Life. Appreciate it.
Level 2 noob with the $50 donation. There we go. That's $25 in there. There we go. Come on, keep them coming in. Keep them coming in. Who can beat level 2 noob's $50 donation? Let's go.
Make it 54 for how old I'm going to be.
54 years old. Man, you were getting old, bro. What are you planning on doing? Are you going anywhere? Are you doing anything?
No, my daughter's got a big swim meet this weekend, and afterwards just get some pizza with her. And her birthday's on Tuesday, so we're kind of going to celebrate it together.
Look, man, that sounds like you're going to have a lot of fun, bro. I love you, man. I'll tell you this. I could not do what I do on a week in, week out morning without a few people. Solo D, Jamie Bahamas, and Cameron Scott. You 3 are so very important to my success, to the success of the channel, and to just everything. And I love you, brother, and happy birthday to you. And I wish I was down there to celebrate with you. And I hope you have a good weekend, bro.
Man, I appreciate all the love, and man, it's fun being on the show, and I've met so many great people over here in the chat. And if come out to the tailgate and supported East 32 Dolphins tailgate and Dirty Sports and all that good stuff, man.
Which we're gonna do big this year. It's gonna be huge this year. Biggest it's ever been.
Big things are coming, man.
All right. I love you, brother.
I'll hit you back, Miss Fins. You guys have a great weekend.
All right. Be good.
All right.
Whew, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers. I'm your host, Stephen D. Hope you all had a good time this morning. This was a lot of fun. I had TD on, Cameron. Lot of fun. Shout out to Cameron in his birthday. Awesome time. Level 2 noob in the building with the $50 donation. 25 of that I will send over to them, to that young lady that Cameron's raising money for, who had the stroke. Remember, if you donate on Cash App or Twitter, there's less fees that come out of it, and I'm able to get the money over there quicker to them. So donate on Cash App or PayPal. And level 2 noob, you just got triple your entries on that too, man. So I'll put you into there triple time at $5 entries. So that's a big one for you, level 2 noob. Anybody wants to match level 2 noobs donations? Let's go. Anybody, as a matter of fact, at 54, anybody donates $54 on the dot, I will put you in 54 times. Anybody donates $54 on the dot for Cameron's birthday, I'll donate. I'll put you in 54 times. You'll get 54. That's like $1 entries. Come on now, you can't beat that. Shout out to ZSM Sports Weekly Giveaway. That's awesome. Patrick Surtain. Awesome giveaway that we're doing here. So that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this weekend? Tonight will be a lot of fun. I don't plan on doing anything, by the way, tonight. Somebody asked if I'm planning on going live. I don't know if I am or not. I don't think I am. I have to admit, I enjoyed not doing anything online. And just hanging out and watching and being a fan and hanging out with friends and family. So it's probably what I'm going to do, but maybe I'll get on. I don't know. But I know Monday we're going to talk all about it. Monday will be a fun show. Absolutely good. And then next week I got some big stuff planned, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Heat playoffs and then Tuesday night. Keep your schedule open Tuesday night. And follow me on social media this weekend, because I'm going to make the announcement on social media this weekend about Tuesday night. Tuesday night is going to be big. It'll be one of the biggest shows I've ever had on Tuesday night. I got five amazing guests that you're going to like. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm excited about it. So make sure you do that. Make sure, donate to the channel right now. $5. Everybody, all 77 people watching right now, donate $5. It gets you into the Patrick Surtain drawing, and you get to donate to the channel. It's Spread Kindness Friday. Let's go. And remember, if you donate 50, I triple the donations. If you donate 54 on the dot for Cameron's birthday, I'll give you 54 slots. Let's go. Big deal tonight. I want to thank Alan, Kevin, Made Paid, G Money Uptown, Aldo, and Level 2 Noob for donating on here. If you donated on Cash App, big shout outs to you. I think I got Cash Apps from Alex and Chef Zhu on Cash App so far. Thank you guys for donating to the channel. Yeah, man, donate to the channel. Come on, let's get 5 more big donations. 5 more donations, even if they're $5. Come on, let's get it over the hump. Donate to the channel. Get in on the Patrick Surtain giveaway. Who else wants the chance to win this Patrick Surtain autographed jersey? I'm going to give you a shot. And if anybody wants to tell me what they're going to do for Spread Kindness this weekend, put it in the chat, and I'll post it up here for Spread Kindness Friday. For Spread Kindness Friday. I like it. I like it. Let's see here. Alexander's like, I already donated mine. I already shouted you out, Alex. Good job, man. Way to go. Way to go. What do y'all got going on? I am not lucky. Tommy, don't think you're not lucky, man. $5 gets you into, you get to donate to the channel, which is great. And you also get to do that. Flipside Fishing with the $10 donation. Shout out to Flipside. There we go. There's 2 slots right there, Flipside. Just remember, I'm going to mug an old lady to counterbalance any acts of kindness. Hashtag chaos. That's for my boy. You're awesome. Spread Kindness Friday. I won't say anything negative about Tua for the rest of the day. Roach, shout out to Roach. Shout out to Roach. Gotta love you guys. You see right there, I'm staying on for like another couple of minutes just trying to get you guys to do. That's one. We need 4 more donations. 4 more donations. Can we get 4 more donations to the channel? Let's go. Remember, if you donate $50, I triple your entries. If you donate $50, whether it's on YouTube, Cash App, or PayPal, I triple your entries. Okay? Let's go. Shout out to them. Rest of the day is going to be tough, Roach. What else? What else we got? Any other what do you I want to know what you're going to do for Spread Kindness Friday this weekend. Put it in the chat. What are you doing for Spread Kindness Friday? Let me know. Should be a lot of fun. Come on now. 4 more donations. Let's go. 4 more. Four more donations. Who else has got them? Let's go. 4 more. And I'll get off here. 4 more donations. 4 more. 4 more donations. Come on. Who's got it? Who's got it? I'm waiting. Y'all can do this. It's Spread Kindness Friday. Raise money for the channel. Help the channel grow. Remember, 50% of all donations from here on out, I'm sending towards John Ruiz. Did you get mine? Where did you send it, John? Yep, on Cash App. Just got it, John. There we go. There we go. I got yours, John. 3 more donations, guys. 3 more. I asked for 5 more. 2 were just done. 3 more donations. Anybody beats Level 2 Noob's $50 donation, they get triple. Triple the entries. Hey, John, you're not happen to be related to the John Ruiz. That's the Miami University of Miami booster, donator, whatever his name is. Are you that same John Ruiz? I'm interested to know, John. No. You would tell me if it was, right? 3 more donations. Come on, guys. 3 more donations. They can be $5. $50 gets you triple the entries. We are giving away this bad boy today. Patrick Surtain autographed jersey. Let's go. He said, of course I would. Shout out to you, man. Von Joe said, did you get mines? Let's see, Von Joe. Let's see. Von Joe with the $10. There we go. There we go, Von Joe. I got yours. I got yours, Von Joe. 2 more donations, guys. 2 more. Let's get 2 more in here. And somebody match level 2 noobs $50 donation. Come on now. Make one of those two a $50 plus donation. $100 donation. Let's go. 2 more donations, guys. And I'll get off here and I'll start. And you can still donate even afterwards. Here's the link, by the way, to donate. It'll take me a while to get all this together. So just bear with me. But 2 more donations. Come on. You got it. Come on now. 2 more donations gets us there. 2 more donations gets us to the goal. Anybody who donates $50, I triple your entries. Triple your entries on $50. Come on now. Come on now. 2 more donations. Come on now. 2 more donations gets us there to the end. Let's go. Who's going to help us get us to the end? 2 more. Who's matching level 2 noobs? Nobody? What are you going to do for spread kindness this weekend? Let me know what you guys are going to do for spread kindness. I'm interested to know. Come on now. 2 more. 2 more. 2. 2 more donations gets us to the 5 that we asked for. Let's go. Come on now. Raise money for the channel. Help the channel grow. Come on now. Let's go. Come on, Lee. 2 more. We ain't got 2 more? Come on. Somebody don't. $5 gets you in. $5. $5. Chance to win this Patrick Surtain. Take $10 off. Let's go. $20 donation from Trucker Sean. All right, one more. Way to go, Trucker Sean, 1981. One more. Level 2 noob. Pew, pew. All right, level 2 noob. Level 2 noob killing it today. Let's go, level 2. Appreciate it, bud. All right. Anybody else want to donate last minute? Get on in where you fit in. Awesome day today. You guys can still donate through here or Cash App or PayPal. Go ahead. I will be back on a little bit live today. You guys can keep donating while I'm still on. Love to see more donations come through and do that. There we go. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, level 2 noob. My final thought of the day for you is I was really happy with what the Dolphins did, which was, trade for Tyreek Hill. I'm happy with it. I think it was fun watching the draft last night. I think it'll be another fun night watching tonight, seeing where these players go, what they do, who they're going to see. We'll have to see what happens. And we'll have to see where we go. So it'll be a lot of fun tonight. I appreciate everybody who donated. I appreciate everybody who liked. Share this. Let people know that we're here. We do this each and every Friday. The giveaway stuff, which is awesome, courtesy of ZSM Sports. Just a lot of cool stuff to do. And, I love having you on. Be on the lookout for news on Tuesday night. I'll be on another hour and a half. So you can still donate for that hour and a half in increments of 10 or 5. If you donate 10, it'll be 2 entries. Okay. Or 4, because if you donate on Cash App or PayPal, I double it. Okay. So go ahead and do that on Cash App or PayPal. Follow me on Twitter at StephenDSKPL. And stand by for the giveaway that we'll do in another hour and a half. All right. So just be on standby for that. All right. I love you all. You all the best. When's the giveaway? I'm going to do the giveaway in about an hour and a half. I got to go get something to eat. And I got to put everything together. Make sure I track everybody who donated this past week and put it all together and then load it all up into the giveaway wheel to and then do it like that. So we'll see. About 90 minutes, I'll be back. Maybe sooner than that. Just keep my channel. If you've clicked all notifications, you'll get notified when I come on. But just keep my channel on standby for the next hour and a half. And hit the refresh button, and I'll be on here soon. You can follow me on Twitter at StephenDSKPL. And keep the donations coming in. Keep the donations coming in. Let's add more people to the donate. We want to help the channel grow. I can't do it without your help. So when you guys donate, it's a big deal. Okay. So here's the links one last time for y'all to still donate. Hopefully it's a fair giveaway. It is. It always has been. If you go back and look, I put them all. If you want to see how I do it too, is trash. You go back to the channel and you'll see the giveaways I've done the last 3-4 Fridays. And that's how I do it. They're about 10-minute little episodes that I've done. It's always fair. I do it on the computer, put it in through the thing, and that's how I do it. All right. So yeah. Be a lot of fun today to do that. To his trash, did you donate to the channel? How do you do it? Pick names in a hat? No, I put it through a random generator. No, it's a circle giveaway. If you go to the channel, go on our page on YouTube, and look and go see last Friday's giveaway, and you'll see how I do it. Do it the same way every week for everybody. Okay, so it is very fair. And then you get the prizes sent out to you. It might take a couple weeks to get them. And yeah, that's how it's done. It's good stuff. Shout out to ZSM Sports. Shout out to y'all for donating. And yeah, and Tua's Trash, if you want to get in on it, donate to the channel through Cash App or PayPal. That'll still be on. I'll keep adding people all the way up until it's time to draw. So I'll keep adding people until it is. Trucker Sean said it's 100% fair. Yep, it is. And people have gotten prizes already and do it. I'm a man of my word. So keep it up. Let's do it. I appreciate all your love and support. Y'all the best fans in the world. And I will see y'all in about an hour and a half. Just keep me on standby and follow me on social media because I got big news dropping this week. All right. I love y'all. Y'all the best. See y'all later. Peace. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. See y'all. Peace.